Sports Radio Network, but that was 2 weeks ago. Looks like there's a bit of a rush here playing in their first game since then with a false start on 2nd and 10, making it 2nd and 15, bringing the ball back to the 26-yard line. Motion man going to the left of the formation. It's a run to Seth Miller. Took it to the inside and gets it about to the 30-yard line. Solid gain to make it 3rd and long. Looks like he was actually dropped for a loss. One thing that I'm noticing with Pac-5 today is that they're going more east and west versus north and south, and that's kind of hurting them here as they face a 3rd and 16 on their own 25 on the opening possession.
Tried to go to Seth Miller, who had himself a nice first game when they faced off with Waialua. Had a couple of touchdown runs, but they're getting tackled before he can get any type of gain for the Wolfpack.
Amanaka drops back to pass, fires it deep for Jerome Lilio, who's unable to come up with the catch. Great defense that time by the cornerback for McKinley, Luke O. Young, who forces a punt. Great showing by McKinley after a rough game against Kaiser last week.
And that's exactly the type of way you want to come out after falling in a big way last week. You could have very easily put your heads down and kind of felt bad about yourself, and instead this young McKinley Tigers team comes out, gets a stop on the very first possession of the game there. Like you said, some nice coverage by O. Young down the left sideline to break it on up and force the 3 and out.
Looks like it'll be Colt Hoffman back to punt for Pac-5. Little low punt, but he gets it off. Ball is dribbling, and the return man for McKinley opts to not touch it. So the ball will be down at the McKinley. It's still rolling down to the McKinley about the 21-yard line. So great after that little dribbler, and McKinley will set up shop at their own 21-yard line with 10:42 to play in the first quarter.
A nice punt there by Hoffman. It took a Pac-5 bounce and then kind of continued to take a Pac-5 roll. You can kind of hear it along the broadcast. It's a windy day here in Kalihi, and right there, seeing the wind help them out a little bit as they put McKinley, on the 20-yard line to start things out.
So new quarterback at the start for the McKinley Tigers in Fabian Pudja. We saw him return an interception last week, but he gets the first play, but the ball is deflected at the line by Gisea Faleofine Awai, the standout basketball player also from out of Marino.
Good job by the big fellow right there, getting his hands up to get a piece of that one, break it up, and anytime you get a pass defended as one of the defensive linemen, it feels pretty good. It's not quite the same as a scoop and score for the big fellas, but still something that they don't get to do very often.
But positive sign that McKinley is opening it up. Last week against Kaiser, every play in the first quarter was a run play. This time it is a run to Mareko Sefo, who gets swallowed up in the backfield. Looks like it gets dropped to the 20-yard line, so it'll be 3rd and long coming up for the Tigers.
And quickly you go back-to-back plays, set yourself up into 3rd and long, and then you're kind of pigeonholed into what you can do here. You either give the kind of give-up run up the middle that you always see teams do, or you can try and go for a pass down the sideline, almost similar to what you saw Pac-5 do on the first possession.
Pudja, quick pass out to the flat to Tanner Hiromasa, who's unable to come down with it, and looks like McKinley is going to punt. So 2 possessions so far, 2 3 and outs for both squads.
Nothing really doing there for McKinley, and even if that was able to be completed to Hiromasa, it wasn't going to be for a first down. A good job by Pac-5 defending the sidelines and making sure that no matter what, it would have been only a short game.
It'll be Gregory Givens back to punt for the Tigers. He was one of the bright spots for the Tigers last week when he returned an interception to the house and also kicked the PAT for the Tigers' only points of the game.
So he's their leading scorer, you're saying?
Yeah, and the leading punter. Oh, he looks like he's going to run with it, and he is. McKinley pulling out the stops here to start the game, and it will be close. Let's see where the officials mark it down, but he may have just gotten the first down. Yes, the chains are moving. But what a play for Gregory Givens, showing off the speed That's not going to be the last time we call his name as he gets from the 20-yard line to the 32 yards. First down, McKinley with a gain of 12 on that fake punt.
And what a gutsy call early on in the game. You're stuck inside your own 20-yard line, and it's 4th and long. Most teams opt to just kick that away very simply, and especially with Givens, who, like you mentioned, had himself a good week last week. Well, off to a good week this week as well, picking up a first down.
Yeah, McKinley very aggressive here in the first quarter. Last week, again, all their plays from scrimmage in the first quarter were run plays, but here, McKinley is showing some life. Pudgett back to pass, gets some time, now rolls to his right. He needs to get rid of it, and he throws it, and it falls short of the receiver. But good job by Pudgett avoiding the sack and buying himself some time. Now, the receiver's got to get open as well as the offensive line has to block for him if they're going to get anything going.
Yeah, Puja, a junior, stepping in at quarterback today, and right there doing a nice job feeling the pressure to his left. Rolls out to the right side to create a little bit more time, and unfortunately for the Tigers of McKinley, just really well covered by Pac-5.
We mentioned it earlier, Puja getting the start today, but he actually did play quarterback last year. Got a chance to see him, so nice to see a little bit of development here at the quarterback position as he hands the ball off to Mareko Sefo, and looks like Sefo is able to get some yards gaining. At least he is able to get 1 yard to the 33-yard line, so it'll be 3rd and 9 for the McKinley Tigers with 9 minutes and a half.
And Sefo, one of those young Tigers that is trying to make a name for himself here as this program reloads, rebuilds, tries to get back in front of things, and he's a nice talented piece, only a freshman there, picking up only a yard though.
Puja waits for the snap, he gets it, fires to the outside. That is Givens with a little comeback route to the 35-yard line. So it will be 3rd and 7 at their own 35-yard line. Will they go for another fake punt?
I don't know if they'll pull out another fake punt. I was thinking they might go for it on 4th down since they went and got a little bit more room, but once again, lining up in punting formation. Perhaps you're right. Maybe they do go for it once again. I mean, the only thing more surprising than a fake punt once is doing it back-to-back times.
Yeah. Well, the positive sign for McKinley, as we saw from last week, is they're actually able to move the ball down. They're not scoring yet, but they're able to move it down and kind of win this field position battle against this Pac-5 team that really doesn't want to get into a game of attrition. Givens waits for the punt cleanly, and he looks like to run again, but he's going to kind of little scrum kick it, and it takes a bounce out near the Pac-5 41-yard line. So great job by Givens for getting it off, and I think that's going to come into play, and I think he actually has the option throughout the whole game in those punting situations because he is an athlete as Pac-5 takes over on their own 42-yard line with 8:49 to play in the first quarter.
I think you're right because it looks twice now where almost that rugby style punt, right? You run out to the right side and get a running start before you kick it, and in that sense, you kind of get a running start to see if the defense will stay honest and make sure that you actually kick it away. I really like that for McKinley.
Yeah, now Pac-5 1st and 10 at their own 42. New quarterback in the game for them with Braden Sarahina, who swings it out for Avari Zion Branch, who gets some blockers and takes it to midfield for a gain of 8. So it'll be 2nd and 2 at the 50-yard line.
Just some good quick game there by Pac-5. Gets the ball out quick into one of the playmakers' hands, and then Zion Branch does the rest, picks up a good chunk and makes it 2nd and manageable here, and kind of gives you the option to either run or pass the ball here on 2nd down, and that's where big plays can sometimes be set up.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier with Seth Miller being the running back, but they kind of want to limit his touches so that he can be great in the postseason. But we'll see what Pac-5 does here as we have Hotman in motion going across the field. It's a quick pass out to Kalen Donate, who gets some blockers as well. McKinley had a chance to get it bottled up, but Donate able to spin away and get inside Pac-5 McKinley territory, to the McKinley 44 for gain of 6 and another Pac-5 first down.
A frustrating one there if you're McKinley because, like you said, a couple of Tigers squared him up to take him down behind the line to gain, and instead a nice little job, a little bit of wiggle right there from Donate, and he picks up the first down.
But they are doing a better job at rallying to the ball. We saw it last week when they gave up that long touchdown run to Dylan Reese, I think on the second play of the game. But here, doing a solid job in tackling in space. Now another motion man with Donate. He goes around the right side, and he gets some space as he gets to the right sideline, to the 15, and he gets whistled out around the about the 8-yard line. Great job that time by Pac-5. They are really stretching out McKinley's defense here, going left and going right across the field.
Not only that, you can see that Pac-5 starting to kind of get a rhythm on offense as well, and with that rhythm, they're able to go just a tad quicker, keeps this McKinley defense off balance, and now just like that into the red zone for the first time on their second possession.
Yeah, that run play on the right side of the field was good for 36 yards as Pac-5 actually, it's at the McKinley 13-yard line. Check that. So they will actually have a chance to get a first down as Sarahina sends another man in motion, gives it to Hopman around the left side. He's got some room, shakes off a tackler, but he's whistled down around about the 12-yard line. So great job that time by McKinley not allowing a big play to happen.
And it looked like it was Eliza Taufa who got him there. A nice job getting him in some space, because if he was able to get around that edge, looked like he was going to be able to get a pretty nice gain and pretty close to the first down.
Yeah, so this Pac-5 offense is really something right now. They're going to go left, they're going to go right. So looking at the field side, looks like they're going to run to the right. And the last time they did that with Donate, that was a good gain for 31 yards. But Sarina Hill waits for the snap. Nobody in motion yet. Now there's someone going. It's Donate. He cuts up inside, gets inside the 5, and he's in for a touchdown. The Pac-5 with a touchdown at 6:37 in the first quarter. First points of the game after going 3 and out to start the contest.
What a beautiful spin move by Donate. Puts him in the washing machine, spin cycle, should we say, as he spins his way into the end zone for the first score of the day.
Yeah, great job by Donate for rushing in there for a 12-yard touchdown. Now, that kind of goes to show you the discipline and the ability of Donate's vision as a ball carrier, because earlier on his big run, he just went to the sideline. This time, instead of going to the sideline, anticipating McKinley getting ready for it, he cut it inside and went down the middle before using his moves to get into the end zone.
And that's kind of the sign of players who understand the game at the next level, right, where they can kind of use one play earlier in a game to set up another one later on, kind of like you mentioned right there. Donate earlier stretching out the defense all the way almost to the sideline, and instead that time coming across and then spinning back, kind of leaving 3-4 McKinley Tigers in the dust for a touchdown.
Yeah, McKinley actually called a timeout after that touchdown. Curious to see why, but maybe they're just trying to get their nerves going. But it appears that Pac-5 is going to kick it. So I guess the time was maybe to kind of get them settled down before the kickoff, making sure that they were all on the same page. But it looks like we have a new kicker for Pac-5. Instead of Evan DeRoff, we have Kiahi Ewan, the sophomore, 5'8", 155 pounds, looking to put Pac-5 up 7-0. The kick is up, and it is blocked at the line. So great job by McKinley with the timeout, setting up their field goal block, and they're able to limit the damage, holding Pac-5 to 6 points there.
And once again, looked like a couple of McKinley Tigers getting their hand on it. I think once again it was Taufa. And tell you what, McKinley, even giving up an early touchdown, Michael, you have to feel far, far better than where you were even just a week ago if you're a Tigers fan, because a semblance and ease on both the offense and defense, they look a little more relaxed.
Yeah, and McKinley, they're still in a rebuild under first-year head coach Steve Warner. I think you said it before the broadcast. They have not won a game since 2019. That's before the the COVID pandemic, and last week against Kaiser, they kind of special teams kind of let them down a bit. They were not able to field some kicks properly. But here, special teams have been the bright spot so far for the Tigers. So one thing that if you're a McKinley fan is improvement, and that's all you can ask for with these athletes.
Yeah, it's really just about week-to-week improvement with such a young roster for McKinley. And right now, you're right in a game against a team who really did a nice job in the opening week on the road against Wailua.
Yeah. Here's the kick. It's a little short kick. It's fielded by Eliza Talfa at the 7-yard line. He's got some running room, and he's able to bring it all the way to the McKinley 24-yard line. So great job on the return by Talfa. Great job on special teams return by McKinley Tigers, because there was a lot of balls last week where they just failed to field the ball and Kaiser was able to take over.
And that's a great callback by you, right? Where last week the Tigers, among a bevy of issues, one of them was on special teams, was fielding kickoffs, and knowing when to just grab and go right there. A nice job by Taufa. And tell you what, he's having himself a nice first quarter here. He had a hand in that blocked PAT. He had a tackle for a loss behind the line. It's been a nice first quarter.
Yeah, now let's see if the McKinley offense can ride this momentum with Pudja back there. Double set. It's a screen pass to Mareko Sefo, who gets out for a short gain. Looks like he's going to get 3 yards on that play to the 27-yard line. So great first play of the possession for McKinley after their first plays the last couple of drives were just coming up short and forcing them to 2nd and 10. So now they have a 2nd and 7 at their own 27-yard line.
And right now, if you're the McKinley offense, you just want to pick up yardage, right? You want positive plays and then another positive play to stack on top of that. You pick up 3 yards there. Can you pick up another 3 to 4 here?
It goes to Sefo again. Looks like he gets to the 30-yard line. So another positive play for a gain of 2, resulting in a, looks like it's a gain of 3 actually. So it's going to be 3rd and 4 at the McKinley 30-yard line. So you have 3rd and manageable, and that's something that McKinley did not have at all yet this season. So I'm curious to see what they do here and if they can execute just to get the first down.
And that's exactly the reason why I brought it up before. You want to pick up 2 to 3, 4 yards even, so you can make it 3rd and manageable. In those type of situational football, it's really good for a young team.
Well, just scrambles, rolls left, throws a pass. Ball was in and out of the hands of Talfa, but there is a flag on the play. We'll see what the officials say, but it was toward around the line of scrimmage area, so it will either be a hold or something going on. Well, wait for the call. Looks like it is a hold against McKinley. Now, decision time for Pac-5. Do you accept the penalty and push it back, or you make it 4th down? But looks like they are going to accept the penalty, moving it back to the 20-yard line. So we went from 3rd and manageable to 3rd and long here with 14 yards needed to gain. McKinley will have 3rd and 14 at their own 20-yard line.
And a tough break there for McKinley, but honestly, if you are the Tigers, maybe you think about it as a blessing in disguise, a second chance at picking up a first down here. As you mentioned before, the pass going in and out of the receiver's hands and would have been 4th down and 5.
But just spins the ball, immediately under pressure. He's running to his left. Looks like he's going to take off, but he's unable to get anything going as no receiver gets open, as Seth Miller, the talented running back for Pac-5, actually makes a play on defense, pushing him out of bounds. Looks like at the 18-yard line, so it'll be a loss of 2 on that play as Gregor Givens comes out to punt.
Yeah, small loss there for the McKinley offense, and for them it wasn't going to matter too much once the immediate pressure got there for Pac-5. And you mentioned it, Pooja have to run for his life right away and instead run out of bounds. Good job by Seth Miller, as you mentioned, playing both ways today, both running back and defensive back there, getting him out of bounds.
I think a lot of players on these teams are going to be playing both ways, and that's just kind of the nature of the beast in Division 2, where you want to also get your best players on the field, but you also don't have numbers. Givens with the punt, low punt. Looks like the players are going to have to get away from it, but it does take a little bit of a bounce to the McKinley 40-yard line. So a net punt of about 22 yards. Pac-5 will have great field position, starting with a 1st and 10 at the McKinley 40-yard line with 5:15 remaining to go in the first quarter. As they have been doing all throughout the preseason, the Pac-5 Wolfpack are rotating quarterbacks. So last possession, it was Braden Saurahina. Now it is back to Colton Amai Nakagawa, the starter from last year, who is also a stand-up baseball player for the Wolfpack. Claps his hands, waits for the snap, sends in motion across to the left. It is a run play to Seth Miller, who gets some running room, shakes a defender, breaks a tackle, and he gets all the way into the red zone. Great job by Seth Miller to lose the defender, break through the tackle of a defender as he gets to the 16-yard line for a 24-yard gain.
A really good job right there by Miller. Saw the hole early and immediately attacked it. Jumps on through with a little bit of burst. And then from there, just does the rest by running angry. Picks up a couple of extra yards after contact. And now all of a sudden, Pac-5 right inside the 20-yard line once again.
Yeah, McKinley has done a really solid job defending plays to the left, but when it cuts to the right, that's where Pac-5 has been able to take advantage of and get some big running room. As Amai Nakagawa drops back to pass, fires over the middle, and it's intercepted by Tafa at the 4-yard line. Great job there by Tafa reading the play over the middle. We've called his name many times. Here's another time. He is making a case for being the impact player for McKinley right now.
And there's no way that he isn't. He's got himself an interception now that saves the points for McKinley, because either way, an opportunity to put on a field goal within field goal range for most high school kickers there, or obviously another touchdown. Instead, McKinley comes up with the interception as Taufa continues himself this nice Aloha Friday with a blocked PAT and now an interception to go along with everything else that he does for the Tigers.
Yep, positive signs for McKinley. Last week they were down 20-0 in the first quarter, but here they are hanging on tight. They get it starting on their own 12-yard line. Ooh, play action play, but the defense for Pac-5 reads that perfectly as Elijah Canelo Chavez brings down Pudja in the backfield down to the 5-yard line. So a loss of about 7 yards. It's going to be 2nd and long now for the Tigers, as Pac-5 just doing whatever they want to do on defense. McKinley's offense right now is the one thing that needs to find some rhythm, as their defense has come up with a stop and special teams have also been coming on strong.
Yeah, right now the only thing not able to get going is that offense for the Tigers, and part of it is because of how good Pac-5's defense has been so far. Right there, just doing a really nice job on a read option, right, where Pudja just pulls the ball back and the defense not fooled at all, and now backed up inside their own 5-yard line, trying to get out from the shades of their own end zone.
Standing in his goal line, Pudja fires it over the head of Mareko Sefo. But I tell you what, if that ball was a little bit lower, Sefo had wide open running room to finally probably break a big game, but the pressure was on by Pac-5. So great job by the Pac-5 defense, putting some pressure here deep in the pits of their own end zone, and they was able to force that quick pass, and now it's 3rd and long from their own 5-yard line.
At this point, if you are the Tigers, the hope is just to get a little bit of extra yardage so you can get the punt away and some room to actually get that punt away, because looking at a 3rd and about 16, 17, not a lot you're going to be able to do.
Sefo with the handoff. Looks like he's just going to get it to the original line of scrimmage. May have actually gained a yard to the 6-yard line, but like what you said, Paul, just get some bit of wiggle room for your punter as they get to the 6-yard line. So maybe not the wiggle room you wanted, but 1 yard, it is going to play a factor as Gregory Givens comes out again for his, I believe, his 3rd punt of the game. Well, actually, 4th punt try of the game, because 1 punt attempt was actually a fake punt.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, now that I sit here and think about it, I don't even know if it really was that fake punt, right? Because we talked about it. He does like to run over to his right a little bit to get those kicks off and see and make sure that the defense isn't, or special teams isn't taken off a little too early.
He's running again to his right. He thinks to get it off, but he gets tackled near the 5-yard line. So fake punt did not go anywhere. It looks like he thought he had the running room, but I think in that situation, you just want to punt the ball off and get it off and live to see another day as Pac-5 takes over on downs inside of the 10-yard line. I believe it will be first and goal at the 6 for Pac-5.
Yeah, kind of a disaster right there for McKinley, and by no fault of their own, you got to try something right there. And I like trying to be aggressive, but unfortunately go too many times to the well, and this time Pac-5 sniffs it out, and now, like you said, sets themselves up for first and goal.
Yep, so it'll be first and goal for the Wolfpack. Braden Sarahina now back in the game behind center for the Wolfpack. Last time he was out there, they scored a touchdown. So let's see what happens here as he fires into the end zone. Looks for a receiver, but McKinley has it well covered. That pass for Avari Zan Branch as falls incomplete. So great job by the Tigers that time, not giving up any big plays in the passing game.
And there was some contact there. Pac-5 coaches pleading for a flag, but I thought it was pretty good defense once again. You're allowed some contact, especially if you're there not before the ball, and it looked like it was kind of a bang-bang play. In high school, I'd give the tie to the defense right there. Nice job to break it on up.
Yeah, and I'm not too entirely sure of the rules in high school, but in NFL, you're at least allowed 5 yards of contact, so that was right there in that range. As Sarahina waits for the snap, it's a run play up the middle. Seth Miller, who cuts to his left and gets to the corner of the end zone for a 6-yard touchdown. So Seth Miller getting into the scoring column today with a 6-yard touchdown round, putting the Pac-5 Wolfpack up 12-0 with 2:47 left in the first quarter. So we got 2 drives so far with Braden Sarahina. Both were touchdowns, while the starter, Amai Nakagawa, came out, ended in a punt and an interception. It is an open quarterback competition, but it looks like Sarahina is winning the job right now, as they look like they're going to go for 2 out of a full house package with 3 running backs surrounding Sarahina and 2 wideouts left. It is a run up the middle to Elijah Canel Chavez, who breaks off a tackle and gets to the left and scores the 2-point conversion to make it 14-0, Pac-5.
And that one frustrating for McKinley. You had him tackled in the backfield there. Nice job, but bounces outside after the contact and does the rest there. Does Canel Chavez to put up 14-0 now, Pac-5 over McKinley.
Yeah, Pac-5 rolling right now, and they've got 4 drives now with 2 touchdowns, so they're finding their way. But you know, for McKinley, the scoreboard might not be in your favor, but they are doing much better at this stage in the game. You know, last week against Kaiser, when it was 2:47 on the clock, they were already down 28-0. Here they're only down 14-0. So a little bit of a positive improvement for the Tigers as they are able to move the ball down a little bit, get a first down, be aggressive, and come up with a stop. So you just want to be happy for the Tigers, who are just trying to find their way.
Yeah, it feels good for the Tigers where, like we said, incremental progress as the season goes on. The first week, not what anybody wanted for Tigers Nation, but instead now you come out week 2, give up a couple of touchdowns here, but overall looking far better in really all 3 phases of the game.
Tafel receives the kickoff from his 5. Gets past the 20, and it looks like he's able to get to the 23-yard line. So solid gain for about 18 yards on the kickoff return, as McKinley will start their possession at their own 24-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 Tigers with 2:40 remaining in the first quarter.
Here, if you're McKinley, want to pick up your first organic first down of the day, right? You don't need a little bit of extra pizzazz, we'll call it, right? Where you have to call a fake punt to pick up the first down. Instead, you hope to go and, once again, we talk about making it third and manageable, second and manageable. That starts with having a positive play here on first down.
Yeah, so it'll be Pudja back at the controls, who didn't even take snaps at quarterback last week. So even for him, he's still trying to get his feet under him. But Pac-5 has really been sending the pressure into the backfield. So let's see what as they creep up to the line. Pudja with a quick pass out to Cepho in the flat, but that pass just a tad behind. So Pac-5 really putting pressure on the young quarterback, who last week we got him see him play defense. We got him to play on the kickoff. So he's kind of in a new role. And what for the Pac-5 defense, what better way to go after a new quarterback than to send pressure, send the house?
And I couldn't have said it better myself, right? Where you see a brand new quarterback, a guy who hasn't taken any live game reps yet in this season, and you may as well send the house because you don't have much chemistry with your receivers when you are Pudja in that situation. And you can see that with a young team not totally prepared for the type of pressure that the Wolfpack is sending.
Pudja immediately pressured, and there's a flag on the play. Might be an offsides or encroachment against Pac-5, but
either way, a pre-snap penalty came from the far side of the field where there were a couple of Wolfpack defenders creeping up on that line of scrimmage. And the question always is, almost like chicken and the egg, who moved first? Was it the offense or the defense?
Either way, I think Pudja's happy the play was blown dead because he was running for his life there. But it is an encroachment penalty against Pac-5, so it'll be 2nd and 5 for McKinley. More importantly, 2nd and manageable. So let's see if they're able to get the necessary 5 yards to get the first down.
Excellent point by you, where we're just talking about it. You want to make your team, your offense, be in manageable situations, in situations that they're able to pick up the first down without the spectacular. 2nd and 5, a perfect chance for that, where you have an opportunity to pick up that first down with a little bit of space out of your own
Pudja
end
with
zone.
some time finally, but a flag is down as he gets sacked. It's a Cabo sack. Looks like that is Ethan Lee leading the charge with Joshua Jerome for Pac-5. So, but there is a flag on the play, so let's see what the officials call.
Yeah, flag came out right away, but 2 defenders getting home quickly for Pac-5. We talked about it at the start of this possession. They have been sending the house every single time, rearing up and going back. And
looks like it was an illegal shift. So what was 2nd and 5 from the 29-yard line is now 3rd and long at the 21-yard line. So an 8-yard sack on that play, as it's 3rd and 13 for the Tigers on their own 21-yard line. Pudja gets the snap. Hands it off to Mareko, but the ball is out. Let's see who comes up with it.
looked like Pac-5 was able to fall on top of it. Nice job once again by the Wolfpack getting into the backfield, and almost immediately upon the handoff, it seemed like the ball was kind of in the air still, not even in possession of either the quarterback or the running back for McKinley right there. So once again, the pressure for Pac-5 getting home and coming up with a turnover.
Yeah, but credit David Hosier for getting first contact on the ball carrier, who wasn't able to skirt. And then Joshua Jerome, the junior for Pac-5, able to fall on the loose ball. So Joshua Jerome coming up big on two back-to-back plays on defense as Pac-5 takes over 1st and 10 on the 15-yard line. It's a handoff to Seth Miller going left now, and he's tackled by Nathaniel Recto. So great job by Recto there. First time we calling his name as he's taking us tracks down Miller for gain. Looks like a gain of 5. So great job making sure that that wasn't a big play or a touchdown.
Yeah, it could have been much worse as Miller got by a couple of McKinley defenders and instead gets brought down after a gain of just about 5 or 6 yards, and makes for 2nd and manageable for Pac-5, but kind of like you said, 2nd and manageable is better than 20-0 awaiting a PAT.
Yep, so it'll be an empty set for Colton Amai Nakagawa after that gain of 6 by Seth Miller. Now, last time I think we saw him put him, it was an interception, so let's see what happens here. It is a screen pass to Varizon Branch, and McKinley read that. Great job by Iosua Sefo tracking it down. So it is a loss of about 3 yards, excuse me. So great job by McKinley reading the screenplay. It is now a 3rd and 7 on the Tigers' 12-yard line. So McKinley coming up with a stand after losing the ball on a fumble in their own territory.
Yeah, provides an opportunity now to have that strong defensive stand. You already have given up 2 scores, and with the clock ticking down here in the first quarter, you have the opportunity to get out with a big defensive stop.
And the full house said they hand off to Cornel Chavez, and McKinley read that perfectly. And it looks like it is another tackle for loss. This time down to the McKinley 14-yard line. So a loss of 2 on that play as the clock is ticking down here in the first quarter. So as the first quarter ends, it is Pac-5 14, McKinley 0. We'll step aside for a break. This is Hawaii High School football on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
Gather around, ladies, and join us Sunday, January 26th at Kapiolani Park for the Hawaii Pacific Health Women's 10K and 5K Fun Run. Embrace a healthier lifestyle and enjoy a fun-filled day. Women of all ages and fitness levels are welcome to participate by running, walking, or jogging the course. And if you can't be there in person, virtual race options are available. Register today at hphwomen's10k.org.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by the HHSAA and the Hawaii Interscholastic Athletic Directors Association.
He deals 2-2. Swung on, crushed, left field. This one is hammered on the way. Gone! Just short of the upper deck. Julio, a missile. He launched it. The building erupts. Julio!
The Seattle Mariners are on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network. Listen live throughout the season on 95.1 FM and AM 760. Visit hawaiisportsradio.com for the current broadcast schedule.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are in Kalihi at Edward Skipadias on the campus of Farrington High School as Pac-5 leads the McKinley Tigers 14-0. But decision time now for the Wolfpack as they face a 4-9 on the Tigers' 14-yard line after going backwards on 2 consecutive plays. It will be a double set with Amai Nakagawa back there with Seth Miller behind him. He drops back to pass, looks to his right, fakes it. Now he takes off. He's got some running room. Ooh, but he is whistled down before the first down marker. So great job there by McKinley and great job by Tana Hiromasa bringing him down for the turnover on down. So Amai Nakagawa needed 9 yards. He was only able to get 4. So it'll be 1st and 10 McKinley on their own 10-yard line. So great job by McKinley for coming up with a stop, and that is another empty possession for Pac-5.
And so that was a good decision by the Pac-5 QB to pull it on down as Amai Nakagawa saw that he had pressure in his face. Instead of having it batted, tried to give his team a chance, goes and on the run gets taken down. A beautiful play in space by Hiromasa. And now McKinley with another opportunity after starting out the first quarter with some positive momentum. They do the same thing here to begin the second.
Now we got the freshman in at quarterback for McKinley, Devin Sablon. We got to see him last week. Kind of had a rough go at it, but let's see if he can redeem himself as McKinley is late to get a man out there. No flags, but a quick pressure as he's pressured by Jake Chambers coming off the left side of the line. Fortunate there not to get a safety as he tries to get it to the flat to the running back, Sefo.
And right now, the McKinley offensive line, it needs to get just a second more of protection for whatever quarterback is out there, because the Pac-5 defense living in the backfield, giving no opportunity for the offense to thrive. And most of that, I can't really fault McKinley. Just a really nice job by Pac-5 playing the numbers game, sending 5-6 guys at a time.
Yeah, McKinley, they had some size in their line last year, but they kind of lost him to graduation. So a lot of these starters on the offensive line are new. Sublime pressure gets it off, but the ball is batted at the line. I believe that's Joshua Jerome again getting a hand on it, but kind of fortunate too, because it looked like that pass was almost going to be an interception. So it'll be 3rd and 10 now for the Tigers after getting that stop on 4th down.
Yeah, it looked like bad news no matter what was going to happen there. So fortunate for McKinley. Ball ends up finding the turf here, and now you set up for 3rd down and 10 yards to go because of 2 nice jobs and 2 good jobs by a freshman quarterback to recognize to get the ball out of his hands twice with pressure in his face.
Yeah, again, we saw him last week kind of get a rough go at it, but he's learning today, and fortunate for McKinley is that this is still preseason. It's a handoff up the middle. I believe that is Mareko Seffel. Some extracurricular going down on the sideline nearest to us, but no flags are called. But looks like Seffel was able to get back to the original line of scrimmage as McKinley forced the punt now with Gregory Gibbons going back there.
And it's just been a really nice job by the Wolfpack defensive line dominating in the trenches, where we've talked about their pass rush, but even when the Tigers are trying to get something going in the running game, just clogging up every hole imaginable. So a nice job by Pac-5's defense thus far, holding McKinley off the board.
Beautiful rainbow here in our backdrop. Paul, what are your thoughts of the view right now?
This is one of the best views, probably at least on island, if not in state, when it comes to high school football. And really blessed that we get to call not just 1 but 2 games here today, as that kick gets to midfield and is fielded by Seth Miller.
Yeah, Miller had to track it down. He kind of had to go back for it. He received it near the McKinley 47-yard line, went back about 10 yards, but he's able to come around the left side and take it almost to the original line of scrimmage. So, that time Gregory Gibbons just kind of stood back. He didn't try that little rugby scrum punt. And it was a great punt, but a great heck of a job by Seth Miller getting, tracking that ball down and not muffing the punt. But there is a flag on the play, some dirty laundry. But before they get it sorted out, I want to point out that Seth Miller did bring it back to the 12-yard line. So, solid job by Seth Miller, returning about 35-yard lines. Looks like the punt's going to stand. Sideline warning against Pac-5. So, first sideline warning, this is not a penalty, but the next one will be. Here on the beautiful campus of Farrington at Edwards Capadias, you have the line, so there should be no excuse there, But I understand emotions, you get excited. But now it's 1st and 10 at the McKinley 12-yard line. Braden Sarahina, not quarterback for Pac-5, hands it off to Seth Miller, who didn't find anything initially, bounces around, but he's finally tackled in the backfield by McKinley's Branson Peters. So solid job by McKinley, not giving up any running room, and Seth Miller, a talented running back, kind of had to dance around there before getting tracked down for a loss of 2 yards.
Great pursuit by Peters, and great job to not give up on the play. Like you said, once he got 2 hands on Miller, Miller tried to bounce it back and go back to the left side, and instead Peters holding on for dear life and wrapping up to tackle. Nice job right there for a 2-yard loss.
Kind of a modified full house, little play action. Sarahina rolls to his right. He's under pressure, throws it, and it's intercepted! Intercepted by McKinley at the 10-yard line. Great job by McKinley reading that play, and I believe this is the first drive where Sarahina has the ball and it does not go in the end zone. Instead, it goes into the hands of a McKinley defensive back. I believe that it's number 3, Isaiah Rojas. So another interception by McKinley, another turnover by Pac-5 in the red zone. So shout out to McKinley for showing some life on defense here, backed up in their own territory.
And this just continues what happened in the second half of last week's game. Yeah, listen, 56-7 versus Kaiser, a brutal first half. But in the second half, doing a really nice job holding Kaiser off the board. Into this one here, if not for some really great starting field position for Pac-5 a couple of times, you probably see this as a scoreless game thus far. 2 interceptions by the McKinley defense, that one most recently by Isaiah Rojas.
Yeah, now we got Sablan. A little bit more room now on their own 19-yard line. Gets a pass off, but it is batted at the line again, this time by Gisea Faleofini Owai. We mentioned earlier in the broadcast that he does play basketball for Marino, showing his hops there, getting 2 hands on that pass, preventing a potential big play for the Tigers. Want to point out that this broadcast is brought to you in part by Dielectric Supply, Hawaii's premier lighting distributor and supplier, lighting up Hawaii since 1972. McKinley with a 2nd and 10 now on their own 19-yard line. Sablan, for his credit, hasn't wavered from his passes. It's just that there's just been pressure in his face that all he can do is just get rid of it, not take the sack.
Every quarterback knows that they want to be able to set their feet and throw most times, and so far for a freshman quarterback, there hasn't been a single snap thus far that he's been able to actually set his feet for a throw. Once again, just goes back into that pressure that Pac-5's been able to get here in the first half.
Yeah, Seffel with the handoff there on 2nd and 10, where it's a loss of 3. So now it's 3rd and 13 on their own 16-yard line with under 9 minutes to play in the second quarter. I'll tell you what, though, if they were playing flag football, I think McKinley might be winning. But again, this is 11-on-11. The game is played in the trenches, and that is where Pac-5 is making their money.
That's a good point by you. The trenches just continue to be dominated by Pac-5.
Screen pass by Sablan, a little bit too high for Gregory Givens. So I like the play call, trying to get it in the hands of their speedy playmaker, Gregory Givens, who has converted on a fake punt and has scored on a long interception return last week against Kaiser, but that time just unable to execute the play as the ball is a little bit too high for his head, as Gregory Givens now has to go back there and punt the ball.
It's some of the struggles that you face sometimes, too, when you're in the midst of quarterback competitions or developing multiple quarterbacks at the same time, right? Where it's not the same guy as the first quarter. It's not the same guy as last week. It's a change for your receivers. And in football, almost more than any other sport, you hear about the chemistry needed for every position. And right there, you see it once again, just the timing slightly off.
Givens with a standard punt now, traditional punt, gets in the hands of Colt Hoffman on his own 46-yard line. He's able to return it to the 40-yard line. Looks like one of the McKinley players was looking for a flag, but there was none. So a return of about 14-yard lines. Pac-5 will have it 1st and 10 at the McKinley 40-yard line.
I don't blame him for looking for a flag either. It was Puja, the quarterback from the first quarter there, who looked like he got pushed right in the middle of the back, which for those who are wondering, that'd be a block in the back, would it not, or an illegal blindside block. And some way, some shape or form, understand why he's looking for a flag. Unfortunately for McKinley, nothing called, and now Pac-5 once again starting in Tigers territory.
For sure. As we look in the background from our viewpoint, I believe that it's the Rancho Mirage Rattlers walking into the stadium now. We'll have that game after this, where me and Paul will switch roles, where I will be the color analyst and Paul will be the play-by-play man. Amai Nakagawa back to pass now for Pac-5. Wow! What a play by Jerome Lilio. We haven't caught his name all game so far, but that time was able to win a jump ball against Nathaniel Recto, who was in great position. Batted the ball up in the air. Jerome Lilio, though, at 6'5", was able to kind of get a hand on there, and as he's falling backwards on his back, able to secure the catch on his own backside for a 30-yard gain. So great job. I was wondering when we're going to call Jerome Lilio's name. He was also standout safety. He was the scoring live All-Hawaii Division II Division player last year, so now we get to call his name, and we see why he's going to be one of the top prospects for the Pac-5 Wolfpack.
As he should be. He had 6 receptions for 90 yards last week, and right there shows off why you can just throw it up to him anytime.
Donate with the sweep down the right side. He scored on a similar play like that in the first quarter. He scores again here in the second quarter as McKinley goes up 20-0 with 7:31 to go in the second quarter. So Donate, with 2 touchdowns already, he does wear the number 3 jersey. We might be on a hat trick watch for Donate here in the early going.
Yeah, we really might be, and Donate continuing what has been a strong start to the season for him, as he had a touchdown last week as well over the course of just 3 touches, and it's pretty efficient for him today. Only a few touches once again, but finding pay dirt on 2 of them.
Looks like Pac-5 elected to go for 2 with and it's a delay of game. So delay of game called on Pac-5 there. But I want to go back to that play by Jerome Lilio, because that really kind of saved this. It kind of ignited this possession, right? If you get a 30-yard gain, again, we mentioned that Lilio was the Scoring Live Division II Defensive Player of the Year last year, which we'll get to later. But Amai Nakagawa drops back to pass, fires over the middle. Into the end zone for Avari Zion Branch, but it is broken up by McKinley's Jerome Arton. So McKinley making plays in the passing game other than that amazing play by Jerome Lilio. So credit McKinley for hanging in there, as that leads the score 20-0. Pac-5 over McKinley. We'll take a break. This is Hawaii High School football on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
Gather round, ladies, and join us Sunday, January 26th at Kapiolani Park for the Hawaii Pacific Health Women's 10K and 5K Fun Run. Embrace a healthier lifestyle and enjoy a fun-filled day. Women of all ages and fitness levels are welcome to participate by running, walking, or jogging the course. And if you can't be there in person, virtual race options are available. Register today at hphwomen's10k.org.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the HHSAA and the Hawaii Interscholastic Athletic Directors Association.
OIA Athletics on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760. Brought to you by Dial Electric Supply.
Welcome back to our coverage of Hawaii High School football here on the campus of Farrington in the heart of Kalihi. McKinley has been fighting valiantly on defense, but they still trailed. They now trail 20-0. But McKinley will have a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line, It'll be Devin Sablan, the freshman, draws back to pass, pressured immediately, fires the pass over the middle. Fortunate there where 2 Pac-5 defenders were both trying to get the pick 6, but neither of them come down with it. Pac-5 avoiding a potential defensive touchdown there on that play.
And that was a really good job by Isaiah Rojas, almost playing defense while he was playing offense, coming out of the backfield looking for the pass, and it floats up, like you mentioned, between 2 Pac-5 defenders, goes off the hand of one of them, and Rojas does a great job to swipe it away down to the turf so that it's not an interception going back the other way.
Yeah, I see Seth Miller and Colt Hotman kind of talking over there, making sure what happened there, because we should have had a pick 6 there. But it's Pudja back now at quarterback, so he started the game before we see Sablan. But Pudja, but some flags, penalties.
Multiple flags are going to fly, and that's been something that has really been painful for McKinley. But here, going to go against Pac-5. A little bit of overzealousness again. And once again, we talk about it before. 2nd, 3rd, manageable. Can you pick up that 1st down? McKinley with another opportunity here on 2nd and about 5 yards to go.
Yeah, so the Tigers will have it 2nd and 5 at their own 33-yard line. Pudja back at quarterback. All you need is 5 yards to get the 1st down, and they've had the opportunities, or they've been in these situations, but have unable to convert. But we'll see what happens here. Pudja fires. Little bit too strong for Gregory Givens. they may have run the run route and not be in the same page. I know Coach, first-year head coach Steve Warner says they're trying to implement some forms of the air raid offense. So not like the run and shoot where receiver and quarterback has to kind of see the same and be on the same page. But now, again, that pass is incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 5 for McKinley at their own 33-yard line.
And it looked like it was Ethan Kamahele Tolbert who really blew up the offensive line for McKinley and got into the face of Puja and just completely destroyed that play defensively. And once again, we talk about these defensive linemen for the Wolfpack, and each time just the power they've shown off.
Puja under pressure. Ooh. Gasaya Faleofine Awai in his face, trying to swing it out for his running back, but unable to hit that play. That's probably about the 5th time so far that where the quarterbacks have been under pressure. They try to hit the running backs in that little flat and running that arrow route, but unable to convert. If they can get that down, that's going to force Pac-5 not to be so aggressive there in the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, a lot of times you also see running backs kind of chip a guy on their way out. I think McKinley could greatly be benefited from a little bit of that as well, just almost as a pseudo extra offensive lineman with the pressure that Pac-5 is getting right now, and with the speed that McKinley is looking to get the ball out, even just an extra half second would help.
Givens with a traditional punt, this time towards his left. Beautiful punt as it kind of takes a bounce, but it is inside of Pac-5 territory. It looks like it'll be down at the 39-yard line.
Yeah, good punt there to, at the very least, put Pac-5's offense starting in its own territory. For a change, it feels like either whether it be the turnover on downs earlier or the punt returns that the Wolfpack have been getting thus far. Finally, it feels like this Tigers defense isn't starting a drive on its heels.
Yeah, want to remind everybody that Hawaii Sports Radio Network has partnered with Scoring Live to bring you the best overall coverage of high school sports in the state. Visit scoringlive.com for live scores and stats, photos, league schedules, and more. It'll be 1st and 10 for Pac-5 at their own 39-yard line as Braden Saurahino waits for the snap. Gets it, low snap, but he handles it cleanly. Throws to his left. That ball is intended for Jerome Lilio, and he makes the catch in triple coverage. Juggling on his back. Jerome Lilio is a cheat code.
Lilio doing a phenomenal job keeping his focus all the way to the ground. 3 McKinley defenders converge around him, and none of them come up with the ball. Once again, the tall possession receiver for Pac-5 coming up with it for a big-time first down.
Yeah, that gain of 14 by Lilio sets them up at McKinley's 47-yard line. You know, Jerome Lilio coming into last season, he was just known as a basketball player, but he's really showing that he might have a future on the next level playing football. Saurahino with a little option play, but it is too far for his running back, Seth Miller. I don't think it was designed option play, but it was a little bit of improvisation. I wasn't in the booth last time we got to see Pac-5, but I was on the Pac-5 side against Wailua. And these are some of the plays that Saurahino would make. He's kind of the improviser. In fact, I think somebody on the side was like, "Who are you, Patrick Mahomes?" Because that was definitely, I mean, Patrick Mahomes-like. Not Patrick Mahomes-y, but Patrick Mahomes-like, because he was not able to get it on there.
He couldn't quite make the play. He's not throwing the ball behind his back per se, but he does like to make these plays off schedule. You like to see him move out of the pocket and make some of those plays, and right there, like you said, just unable to connect with Miller on the move.
Saurahino draws back to pass, fires. It's another ball intended for Lilio, but Recto is there covering it, but it looks like he's going to get called for a flag. Not much there you can do for Recto, who actually moves over from the linebacker position to play cornerback against the 6'5 Jerome Lilio. But Recto is a solid defensive back. From my experience covering McKinley last year, I saw one game where he had 5 pass breakups, but nothing going there as Lilio had the space and he had him beat. But, you know, in high school, it's not a spot foul like in the NFL, so that it's essentially a good penalty because it's just a 15-yarder.
You beat me to it. I was going to say it's kind of what you call in basketball a good foul, right? Where you go down and, yeah, you probably give up yardage, but you would have given up way, way more had you allowed the catch to Lilio. And really, like you said, not a lot more he could have done. Recto, the only chance he would have had to not get that penalty, get his head around at the last moment, and then maybe you give up a chance at that catch.
Sarina takes the snap, drops back to pass, but now he moves up, fires it into the corner. Wow, what a play! Corner route for a 32-yard touchdown. I believe, is that Kylian Donate again? With his third touchdown of the game, Kylian Donate in the right side of the corner. But there is an injury on this play. Looks like one of the McKinley players covering that play is down, and there is some concern here for the McKinley player, as we have two McKinley trainers attending to him. So Pac-5 had reason to celebrate, but they're hushed tones right now as the McKinley player is down on his side. But, you know, what a job by Donate.
A great route by Donate, a great job to get out by Sarahina, and once again we talked about him on the run, gets the ball out and gives his receiver a chance, and you already called it. Can Donate get his hat trick with touchdowns in the first half? And he does right there, and now all the concern going back over to the McKinley sideline, as you mentioned it before. Couple of trainers going to check on the young man down on his side.
Yeah, and I think head coach Steve Warner is also there now, trying to make sure he is okay, but not a good sign. You know, hopefully he can get up on his own power, but I don't know. It looks like he may have just tripped on his foot, but again, you don't want to speculate too much because any injury is a serious injury.
And that's the thing, is you never want to see anybody go out even for just one snap, let alone be down on the ground after a play. And the concern always goes to the player, because at the end of the day, it is just games being played. Guys are out here trying to have fun, compete at the highest level that they possibly can, but also do it safely. And we've seen so many rules over the past few years as as football tries to become more and more safe for our young student athletes, as it looks like Jerome Arton is able to get up and walk off under his own power.
Yeah, glad to see Jerome Arton able to get up under his own power and get to the sideline. You know, nothing too serious where we're going to have to call some assistance. But that sports injury report is brought to you by Hawaii Pacific Health, creating a healthier Hawaii. And we'll pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Hawaii High School Football on HSRN.
EOIA lives here. KGU AM, K236CR. Honolulu is the Hawaii Sports Radio Network on 95.1 FM and AM 760.
Score is 26-0 Pac-5 as Pac-5 goes for two. Sarina with a pass into the end zone. Who is it? It's not Jerome Lilio this time, but that jump ball was for Avari Zion Branch. So Pac-5 able to get into a normal box score where it's 28-0 with midway through the second quarter. So solid job by Sarahina that time, being able to make plays off schedule to his right with a touchdown pass to Kylian Donate for 32 yards, as well as the 2-point conversion for Avari Zion Branch.
Yeah, the Pac-5 offense starting to cook once again, and we talked about it before where McKinley able to get off to these nice starts at each quarter so far, but haven't been able to do much more than that. Their defense doing a pretty nice job. Their offense hasn't been able to figure out the puzzle that is this Wolfpack defense.
Vibes are still reading here though here at Frankton, as Paul, is it just me or did this rainbow get even more beautiful and pretty here on our backdrop?
It really has, and we mentioned it before, one of the best, and I mean absolute best, venues for a high school football game on all of Oahu here at Farrington High School.
McKinley receives the kickoff. That's Taufa, has some space with a great return from the 25-yard line all the way into almost near midfield. Looks like he's going to be tracked down around the 43-yard line. So great job looks like there's going to be some trouble on who's going to handle that kickoff return. But Taufa, again, showing why he's an impact player for the McKinley Tigers, taking it across the 40-yard line.
Yeah, Mr. Do Everything, aren't you, Mr. Taufa? Doing an incredible job on on defense and on special teams, hoping to add a little bit more for this McKinley offense as he gives them their best starting field position of the day at the 43-yard line of McKinley. So now looking to perhaps get into Pac-5 territory for the first time today, and if they're able to do that, be able to pick up a first down.
I believe that's Devin Sablon back at quarterback, or I could be wrong. That might be Pudja, but we do have a new running back in Isaiah Rojas back there. Pudja with a deep pass for Gregory Givens. He has some space, but unfortunately unable to come up with it as Colt Hopman was able to get there in time to get a hand on it. But I tell you what, Paul, 2 steps, and that's a touchdown.
A really nice job by Gregory Givens beating his man initially, and then Colt Hopman doing a really great job at the safety position to track down and be that last line of defense, gets one hand on it to break it on up, and instead of a first down for McKinley, they have to go back to the drawing board, 2nd and 10 from the 43.
But first play I think we've seen from McKinley where the pass has traveled more than 10 yards. So a positive sign that McKinley is trying to open it up a little bit and get some points in the scoreboard. Pudja drops back to pass. Immediately pressure on his left side. Finally gets it off to Rojas. Oh, but he is tackled down by Jerome Lilio after a gain of about 9, but it could be it is a first down. So heck of a job from both parties there. Great job by Pudja to get the pass off to Rojas in the flat, where they finally hook up on that little dump-off pass. But then Jerome Lilio with the big tackle to avoid any more damage as McKinley takes it in to the Pac-5 47-yard line.
Finally into Pac-5 territory, finally picks up a first down on their own, and finally the quarterback and running back able to connect with each other. A great job standing tall in the pocket there by Pudja, and then from there Isaiah Rojas doing the rest with a little bit of wiggle to pick up the first down.
Yeah, McKinley with some life now. Pudja with a play action pass. Looks like it's a run all the way, but he is tracked down by Pac-5's Jake Chambers. So I believe that was a read option all the way, but the dive probably wasn't there, but the read wasn't there either for the quarterback, as Pac-5 just winning the line of scrimmage today.
It's been tough sledding for McKinley every time they go to that read option because, like you said, the Pac-5 defensive line getting into the backfield and having one, if not 2 guys already on top of both the quarterback and running back each time, and that's why you haven't seen any real success with that play call for the Tigers here in the first half, and part of the reason you see them still scoreless with just under 5 minutes before the halftime break.
Yeah, that loss was for 4 yards, but I believe it should be second down. Is it not should be second down?
I'm trying to remember an incomplete pass that went along with it, and now backing them up even further.
Either way, now delay of game makes it 3rd and long on the McKinley 45-yard line. I think, they flipped the down marker. It is second down, 2nd and 19. But Pudja stands, rolls to his left now, tries to get it off, throws it over, and it's intercepted by Jerome Lilio from the 49. Takes it all the way to the 20, about the 20-yard line, but there is a flag on the play. But Jerome Lilio, we didn't say his name at all in the first quarter, but he is coming on strong now here in the second period.
Yeah, first quarter just took him a little time to warm up, and now all of a sudden making his impact felt all over the field. And Michael, did you say before he was the reigning scoring live defensive player of the year in Division II?
Yeah, I believe in Pac-5's first ever win in state tournament history last year against Kamaki, he had 3 interceptions.
Well, he's not
a fumble recovery.
He's not quite there yet today, but that's a great start with 1 interception there and a fantastic couple of catches beforehand. So, like you said, coming on here in the second quarter for the basketball star, starting to become a star here on the gridiron as well.
And keep in mind that Kamaki team last year had believe it was Iosefa at quarterback who is taking a preferred walk-on at BYU, and also Jeremiah White, who is now playing football for the University of Hawaii Rainbow Warriors.
Yeah, a team with legitimate Division I talent on it, and to go toe-to-toe with them is incredibly impressive for this program as they continue to work towards the top themselves.
But it will be 1st and 10 Pac-5 at the McKinley 48-yard line. Little reverse play to Hopman this time out of the slot position. But great job by McKinley reading that play to limit the gain for only about 2 yards. So McKinley not getting fooled there on the little reverses now, as that was Taufa making another play for the Tigers.
And that's a good observation by you, Michael, that McKinley much less susceptible to those reverses, to those wider runs, right? The ones going towards the sidelines that early on in that first quarter we saw Pac-5 pick up big chunk yardage, almost a first down every single time they ran it. Now this time just a gain of 2 yards after a nice track down.
Hand off to Seth Miller down the right side. He gets across the line of scrimmage and is tackled across about the 41-yard line. So that's about a gain of about 5 yards, as it'll be 3rd and 3 now for the Pac-5 Wolfpack here on the McKinley 41-yard line.
So if you're Pac-5, you've done exactly what we've asked out of the Tigers all day for offense and given yourself 3rd and manageable. But if you're McKinley, you've done a nice job to limit the gains on a couple of really tough runs by this Pac-5 offense, and here an opportunity to force a big-time 4th down.
Amaya Nakagawa drops back to pass. The lefty swings it out to the flat to Kalen Donate, who shakes free of a defender, gets the 1st down at the 30, cuts back inside, but there is a flag on the... Oh, there's a fumble! Looks like on the scrum there was a fumble, and it was McKinley recovering it. I believe that is McKinley's... Let's see. I believe that is Marlon Kessie, but there is a flag on the play. Let's see what they call, because there was a flag, but the whistle wasn't blown. So if the flag was against Pac-5, I'm declining if I'm the Tigers.
Yeah, I decline if I'm the Tigers as well. And now a little huddle amongst the officials as well, and McKinley pointing their way as if they just know that possession will go to them. And normally that's a pretty good sign, Michael, if you're a McKinley Tigers fan, that, hey, possession's coming our way.
Yeah, what was a 11-yard catch and run by Kalen Donate ends up in a McKinley possession. Looks like there was a holding call against Pac-5 that McKinley rightfully declines, but great job by McKinley for not only forcing the fumble, but recovering the fumble to stop that possession. Great teamwork. And just want to remind everyone that Hawaii Pacific Health takes the team approach to providing the expert care you need, when and where you need it. Together, we are creating a healthier Hawaii. So it'll be 1st and 10 for McKinley with under 3 minutes to play on their own 30-yard line. Pudja at quarterback with Rojas set behind him, but there is a timeout on the field. Looks like the officials are gonna check on something. Maybe there's an equipment malfunction or the ball is moving, but Rojas does have to come out of the field as Mareko Sefo is now at running back. Pudja drops back to pass. Quick pass out. Unable to connect with Sefo, who was unable to get his head around in time. But Pac-5 still bringing the pressure up with the score 28-0.
Yeah, it seems like it's a lifestyle for this Pac-5 defensive line to just try and overpower your matchup in front of you. And so far, that's exactly what the Wolfpack has been able to do. And a lot of times continues to get into the face of whoever is going to play quarterback for McKinley. And we saw before, with them selling out to get that type of pressure, even if it is just with the 3 guys up front that they have, sometimes the rest over pursues for the Pac-5 defense. So if you can just get that completion out of the backfield to your running back there, you might have a pretty nice game.
2nd and 10, Pudja under pressure, and he gets rid of it. Good job to avoid the sack as David Hosier was bearing down on him. So Pac-5, they're really only using a 3-man front, but Pac-5's linebackers are just playing mind games with this young, inexperienced offensive line, and they're not able to get the blocking calls correctly with so much movement going on in the linebacker room for Pac-5.
And if you're the McKinley coaching staff, you're probably looking at this first half and thinking the film that you're getting is pretty useful. A bunch of different looks for a young team to learn from going forward. And obviously, that won't help you win a game today, but it may help you win a game as this season goes on.
Under pressure, gets it off to Mareko Sefo. Great one-handed grab there that time, but Pac-5 all over that. Looks like that is Ethan Lee. Fortunate not to get called for a taunting penalty because he was all over that McKinley player, but after a short gain of about 2 yards, Gregor Gibbons is back to punt now for McKinley.
Yeah, and Mareko Sefo is really feeling it after that one. The freshman running back took a hit. He was not necessarily in a great position as he turned to go catch it. And like you said, a really nice job showing off the focus and the hands as he goes up with one and comes down with it. But Ethan Lee not holding back anything on the young 9th grader.
Gibbons with a traditional punt this time, gets it off as Seth Miller has to run, tracks it back, muffs the punt. He has to recover it at his own 25-yard line, but he has some running room to his right. He's up to his 40, and he's nearly horse collar tackle, but great job by McKinley's Marlon Kessie. He got the fumble recovery on the last position, but they're saving a touchdown by Seth Miller.
Yeah, Seth Miller went from nightmare to almost a dream for the Pac-5 Wolfpack on that punt return as he muffs it at first almost twice as he has to go back to his own 20-yard line, pick it up, and from there he just weaves through the McKinley special teams unit, and if not for a really nice job by Kessie to bring him down out just before the midfield line, and we're probably talking about a Seth Miller punt return touchdown similar to that Deshaun Jackson-esque one back all those years ago against the Giants.
I want to correct myself because I said there was a near horse collar tackle, but it really wasn't. He just had his arm kind of around his shoulder, and there really was no horse collar because you don't want them going for the legs. So great job by Kessie. Textbook play there. McKinley gets called for an encroachment. Now McKinley's being a little aggressive, but that's going to come back to haunt them as what was 1st and 10 in Pac-5 territory is now 1st and 5 at midfield for Pac-5, who has 1:41 left in regulation. Now, mercy rule rules in high school football is 35 points, so if they do get a touchdown and the PAT, we will have running clock in the second quarter. But for McKinley, they definitely do not want it to happen for the second game in a row. Sarahina back to pass over in the middle into the seam, but that pass was a little too far for Colt Hoffman.
Yeah, trying his best to fit it in there between two defenders for Hoffman, and just a little bit too strong, goes over his receiver's head, incomplete. But when you get a free 5 yards on first down, you're kind of afforded that opportunity, because no matter what happens, even if you just throw an incomplete pass, it's probably just going to be 2nd and 5, and you can say, hey, this is a 5-yard gain no matter what.
Yeah, now they will go into an empty set with Sarahina back there, trips to his left in a little trio formation with 2 to his right, claps his hands, waits for the snap. He gets the snap, feels it cleanly, rolls to his left with no pressure, and now he's looking for running room. But now he's tracked down by Kessie again. Kessie is a man among boys here in the second quarter for the Tigers as he drops Sarahina down for a 3-yard loss. So it'll be 3rd and 8 for the Pac-5 Wolfpack.
And what a great job by a freshman to not give up on a play, because he very easily could have stopped. He was taken out by a block far in the backfield to start things out, but we've talked about it before, as Sarahina likes to get off schedule, likes to try and make things happen with his legs and let things develop downfield, and that time doing a little too much dancing, and the hustle of Marlon Kessie comes up with a big-time sack in the backfield and sets up 3rd down.
Yeah, so Pac-5 just called a timeout, so we'll also take one as well. You're listening to Hawaii High School Football on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
What would you give for a child you loved? To make their wish come true? To help them fight a critical illness? Just imagine what you'd do. You see, wishes are so powerful, and you can make them real. can give a child back their childhood, even change the way they feel. Every single one of us can make the stars align, because when we come together, hope and joy will shine. Wishes need stars like you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game, so I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in Hawaii at highschoolofficials.com.
You're listening to OIA Athletics on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760. Brought to you by Hawaii Pacific Health.
Bringing the action back to you guys as Braden Sarahina scrambles around the left side on 3rd and 8 to get a first down for Pac-5. So great timeout there by Pac-5 as Sarahina able to use his legs and his improvisation skills to move the chains as that was a good gain for about 12 yards to give Pac-5 first and 10 and McKinley's 40 with 1 minute to play.
Yeah, Sarahina's legs giveth and taketh away. We just talked about how dancing around a little bit too much got him sacked on the play right before the timeout. That time doing an excellent job extending, bringing the ball back down, and then going and picking up the first down at the 40-yard line.
Sarahina claps his hands. He's got two slot receivers, Donate in motion, but no flag as he was moving forward. But Sarahina rolls to his right, rolling to his right. Now he's going to take off, but he fires deep pass, and it's intercepted by McKinley again. I believe that it's Isaiah Rojas with a spin move, gets down the left sideline. He has some running room, and it was only but Seth Miller needed to be there to stop that play from going for what could have been a 90-yard pick six by Isaiah Rojas. So McKinley showing some life on defense in the pass coverage. So great job by McKinley there to avoid a touchdown for Pac-5, as well as avoiding the potential running clock in the second half.
Yeah, just one man to beat for Rojas, and he couldn't quite do it. A good job by Seth Miller to push him just out of bounds. But talk about the spin move, Michael, coming across, gets the interception, and then all of a sudden spinning away from every single Pac-5 would-be tackler, and now into opponent territory for McKinley with 39 seconds, hoping to get on the board here just before halftime.
Yeah, it'll be first and 10 at the Pac-5 42-yard line with 39 seconds remaining. Snap is taken by Sablan, gets it off to Isaiah Mareko, but he juggles it. I think that has to go down as an incomplete pass.
I agree with you, and the officials do as well as the signal comes on through incomplete. We'll set up 2nd and 10 here with 34 seconds to go, and that's probably the best case scenario after not initially catching the ball, because quickly closing in was a couple of Pac-5 defenders and would have probably gotten blown up at the line at the line of scrimmage or even a little bit before.
Sablan is at quarterback, but Pacha is also in the game in the right slot position, so we'll see if McKinley tries to take advantage of his abilities as a receiver here. Sablan drops back to pass, quick pass to Mareko Sefo. This time he does get a hang on it, makes a defender miss, but he is tracked down for about a 1-yard loss in the backfield. He'll actually get, nope. It'll be a 1-yard loss, or we'll get back to the line of game, but clock is ticking. 16 seconds now and ticking. It looks like McKinley's not, are they going to call timeout, or are they just going to let it run? It looks like they're going to just let the clock run.
1-yard loss on that pass lead.
As Pac-5 is going to take a 28-0 lead at halftime. They let the play go though, and they whistle it dead. So
I was going to say the loud buzzer from the scoreboard down at the very end whistled, so I'm glad they blow it dead so everybody's on the same page.
But your score at halftime is 28-0, Pac-5 over McKinley. You're listening to Hawaii High School football on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
Gather around, ladies, and join us Sunday, January 26th at Kapiolani Park for the Hawaii Pacific Health Women's 10K and 5K Fun Run. Embrace a healthier lifestyle and enjoy a fun-filled day. Women of all ages and fitness levels are welcome to participate by running, walking, or jogging the course. And if you can't be there in person, virtual race options are available. Register today at hphwomen's10k.org.
It's summertime at the Honolulu Zoo and your magical place for exploring, learning, and enjoying nature. Visit the climbing, crawling, and captivating creatures. Guess where they're hiding, see them snooze, or watch them eat. Then grab yourselves an ice-cold treat. Create lasting memories with your keiki, kupuna, and everyone in between. Live wild and see the wild live at the Honolulu Zoo. Visit honoluluzoo.org today.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game, so I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in Hawaii at highschoolofficials.com.
Thousands of kids in poverty have waited over a year for a sponsor. End their wait today. Become a Compassion sponsor. Text radio to 83393. Text radio to 83393.
Flooded vehicles from recent hurricanes will be flooding the used car market, so buyer beware. If you're in the market for a used vehicle, be on the lookout for flood damage and make sure you have a qualified mechanic inspect it before you buy. The free VIN check service from the National Insurance Crime Bureau is a good place to start. Head over to nicb.org to check it out.
To report fraud, call us at 1-800-TEL-NICB. This is a public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
Hey, Joe, I thought you were retired.
Living on a fixed income is tough. So here I am, an essential worker.
I know. I mean, food prices are going up every day. Thank goodness for benefitscheckup.org.
Benefits what?
Benefitscheckup.org. It's a free website where people over 60 can find help to pay for food, medicine, even utilities. I got $1,200 a year in benefits. Maybe it can help you.
I love this song! I love nachos.
Loving everything? You might be buzzed.
You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzz warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back. We are at halftime in Game 1 of our doubleheader tonight on Hawaii Sports Radio Network. Paul, a little bit different times we get to see. We got McKinley last week, and then we had Pac-5 2 weeks ago against Wailua. We were both in different roles, right? Where you were back in studio running the boards, I was on the sideline doing stats, taking photos, but now we're in the booth. So, Paul, what are you seeing so far from these two teams?
Well, one, it's just nice to be back out and be able to see high school football here in Hawaii. We talk about it all the time on 95.1 FM and AM 760 in the mornings on Wake Up in the Den, how awesome the talent is here in Hawaii, and that's not just in the open division, and we're seeing it live on display here tonight at the Division II level, the rapid improvement of both of these squads, right? Where 2 weeks ago you see Pac-5 open up the year with a fantastic win against a Wailua squad that should be pretty competitive throughout this entire season, and they go out and win 34-14 in that post 21 points in the first half alone before posting 13 points in the fourth quarter to close things out. Here you see them 4 scores, and I'm not talking about Abraham Lincoln's speech in the first half for Pac-5 as they're up 28-0. And while that could be taken as a negative if you are McKinley, I would argue that this is quite the positive. You slice in half the deficit from last week, or at least the points given up. You're down 56-7 at halftime last week against Kaiser. Instead, this week, down 28-0 with a ton of great things to talk about going into halftime between the turnovers you've forced, the special teams success you've seen, and the offense finally starting to wake up there at the end of the first half. If you are McKinley, you feel good about the improvement you've seen week over week so far.
Yeah, and it doesn't, I mean, you say it doesn't show up on the scoreboard. but it does show on the scoreboard with the deficit not being as big as it was last week. And I think the fact that we're not going to start the second half in running clock is a big improvement for McKinley. I mean, we saw yesterday when Pro City against the team from Colorado, that we're down 63-6, and that was a blowout right there. But here, McKinley competitive. In fact, I think they're winning the turnover margin. It's just offensively they are not able to get anything really going. I mean, they're kind of showing some sparks there, but they need to get something going on offense if they want to kind of take that next step and maybe put some points as well as some wins onto their tallies. But for Pac-5, I know coming into this year, you had Jerome Lilio, who we obviously see as a D1 talent. You have the talented Seth Miller. But one reason why this Pac-5 squad is really looking like a contender for the Division II state title is they have weapons all over across the board. Look at Kalen Donate, who has 3 touchdowns already in the first half.
Yeah, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with once the league season comes up here. And then, they've just been strong throughout the non-league schedule. If you're McKinley, you feel good about the first 2 games. And then once you get into that actual league schedule in a couple of weeks, you hope to really show how far you've improved in just 1 month's time.
Yeah, we'll break down more of what we saw in the first half and look forward to the second half after another short break. But you're listening to Hawaii High School football on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
He deals 2-2. Swung on, crushed, left field. This one is hammered on the way. Gone! Just short of the upper deck. Julio, a missile. He launched it. The building erupts. Julio!
The Seattle Mariners are on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network. Listen live throughout the season on 95.1 FM and AM 760. Visit hawaiisportsradio.com for the current broadcast schedule.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the HHSAA, are the 36,000 high school sports students in Hawaii. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, soccer, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
Aloha, beautiful people! Wake up in the den with me, Ku'ule Agbayani, along with Paul Brecht and Michael Lescaro, weekday mornings from 8 to 10, right here on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760, or listen on demand at hawaiisportsradio.com. You can even watch the show every Monday on our YouTube channel. Want to get in on the conversation? Shoot us a text at 808-888-KGU1. That's 808-888-5481.
OIA Athletics on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the campus of Farrington High School at the beautiful Edward Skipadilla Stadium with just a breathtaking breakthrough. But right now, it's beautiful for Pac-5 as they lead 28-0. So, Paul, how did Pac-5 get those 28 points on the board?
It's been the Donate show, right? Where, in a lot of ways, Caitlin Donate continuing what has been a strong start to the season for him thus far, as the senior wide receiver had the first score of the game, a 12-yard run, though the PAT was blocked after that. Then his partner in crime, the backfield leader in Seth Miller, he had a 6-yard run after a Canal Chavez 2-point conversion was good as well, made it 14-0 with 2:47 left in the first quarter. And then after that, a little bit of time before they could find their way back on the scoreboard once again. We've talked about how the McKinley defense has shown its improvement even just after 7 days here today, and they showed that at the start of the second quarter, but once again, it was Kalen Donate getting the Wolfpack back on the board, a 10-yard catch, and 7:31 remaining in the first half put the Wolfpack up 21-0, and then Donate one last time, a 32-yard catch from Sarahina with 5:57 left in the first half in that second quarter there, and then Zion Branch catches a pass from Sarahina to add on the extra 2 points, makes it 28-0 at halftime, and that's how you got here. McKinley still working on their first points offensively of the season, but defensively and special teams wise, the Tigers have stepped things up as well. It's just some really good field position has really helped out the Pac-5 Wolfpack.
Yeah, fortunately for McKinley, they have an opportunity to kind of get on the board to start the half, as I believe they will receive the second half kickoff. But like you mentioned, defense and special teams has been showing up for them. They just need to get that third phase of the game, which is the offense, going, where special teams, we saw Gregory Gibbons fake punt down the right side for a first down on the first drive of the game, and then Tafel coming on strong with the 2-point with the PAT block. And I think after that play, Pac-5 just was like, hey, we are not kicking it. We are going to go for it every single time. And again, credit the defense for getting some stops. Tafel with an interception. I believe Rojas got an interception. A lot of play there. I believe there's 3 interceptions and a fumble recovery by McKinley's defense. So that unit definitely an improved sign after losing 56-7 to Kaiser last week.
Yeah, Taufa with an interception, Isaiah Rojas with 2 interceptions in that first half, and then Marlon Kessie, the freshman, making a couple of impact plays himself with a fumble recovery and a sack in the backfield. You hope to see these young guys continue to make plays as this second half goes on here, and you hope to see on offense they're able to make a few plays as well as we go into it. I do also want to take a little bit of pressure off of McKinley's offense, right, where you talk about how good Pac-5 has been to start out this year. The first 3 quarters against Wailua, they held the Bulldogs scoreless as well, so this is not new territory for the Pac-5 Wolfpack defense. You hope to see a little more success in the second half if you're McKinley.
Yeah, but before we get to the second half, we'll take one more break as we'll take a step aside. But you're listening to Hawaii High School Football on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
Hawaii Sports Radio Network recognizes the Colt Brennan Legacy Fund of the Hawaii Community Foundation, established by the Brennan family to honor the memory of their son and brother, former University of Hawaii quarterback Colt Brennan. The fund supports causes that Colt cared about, UH athletics and youth sports, in addition to organizations that support individuals struggling with mental health and addiction issues. Visit hawaiicommunityfoundation.org/Colt-fund today to learn more about how you can help.
DSE Hawaii, a proud supporter of OIA Sports on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, is a locally owned and operated union electrical contracting company. Established in 1988, DSE Hawaii provides services to general contractors, building owners, property management companies, architects, and engineers. Their commitment to the electrical industry is focused on quality, efficiency, and most importantly, customer service and satisfaction. DSE Hawaii, providing quality work in the most efficient manner.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the HHSAA and the Hawaii Interscholastic Athletic Directors Association.
Children are the greatest joy and our best hope for a better future. Friends, they are the future. But did you know that millions of kids right here in our own backyard are facing hunger every day? Without healthy food, it's harder to grow, to thrive, to feel their best.
The impact when children don't have enough to eat is tremendous, because when you're hungry and your basic needs aren't being met, you cannot learn.
Every child deserves to be fed. This is a problem we know how to solve. Food is not just food. It's energy, health, confidence, hope, and even love. Yes, love.
Breakfast in the classroom contributes to kids being more focused, which leads to higher grades, and simply just their well-being.
Learn more about how No Kid Hungry is helping end child hunger in America at helpnokidhungry.org.
Hawaii Sports Radio Network is proud to be the official radio broadcast partner of the Oahu Interscholastic Association. Listen live to OIA Sports throughout the year on HSRN 95.1 FM and AM 760. Visit hawaiisportsradio.com and click on the OIA Sports tab for our current play-by-play schedule, game recaps, photo gallery, or to listen to previous broadcasts. Mahalo to Hawaii Pacific Health and DSE Hawaii for their support of OIA Sports, exclusively on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we have the second half kickoff here in this non-league game between Pac-5 of the ILH and the McKinley Tigers out of the OIA.
It's been a fun one so far, Michael.
Yeah, I'm kind of out of my breath because there's been a lot of scoring, and it's not because I just came from the bathroom trying to get back here in time.
No, never that, but always hustling for the beautiful people you are, because tell you what, your coverage of high school football has been phenomenal for us at HSRN, along with all of the wonderful folks over at Scoring Live, and that's your best place to go if you want to find all of the information about high school football here in Hawaii, including this game.
Kickoff is mishandled by Peters, but he's able to recover it. You know, that's an improvement from last week because we saw McKinley against Kaiser last week where they were unable to field the kickoff on multiple possessions. But that time, Peters able to fall on it. And good to see the improvement, and you get to see the coaching at work for the Tigers.
And that's a big thing, right, is we've really emphasized how young this McKinley Tigers team is, whether it just be grade level or if we're talking about actual experience on the football field, they're a little bit behind other programs. So now an opportunity to go against a quality Pac-5 program, and here looking to put up points for the first time today.
Yeah, so the Tigers will have it 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Now, they've been kind of rotating quarterbacks in and out of the lineup, but right now it looks like it is the freshman, Devin Sablon, behind center. Sablon waits for the snap, gets it off, rolls to his right immediately, but that pass again is batted at the line by Giseo Feliofini Awai, who, if he wasn't looking to just bat it down, he may have had a pick six there.
And that would have been really fun, wouldn't it? Because a big guy pick six, defensive touchdowns in general are fun. Even 2 defensive touchdowns might be even more fun. But, you know, right there, a nice job by the big fella getting into the backfield and getting his hands up and active once again. That's something that this Pac-5 defensive line has done really, really well throughout this entire game thus far.
And I like this Pac-5 defensive line because across the board it's 55, 56, 57, left to right. And they've just been making plays there. So Bland back to pass, gets it off, but again it is batted off by Filipina Awai, and it's picked off by David Hosier, who makes the return from the 15-yard line all the way into the end zone. So touchdown Pac-5, not even 23 seconds into the game. Wolfpack up 34-0.
And just a nightmare if you are McKinley right there, because once again, the issues of all day, the size of this defensive line getting into the backfield early, not allowing any opportunity for McKinley quarterbacks to get the throw off, and right there have to get it away quickly, tipped up in the air, and a great job on the tip drill, taking it to the house by David Hosier.
Yeah, what a great team effort. You know, you got Faleofina Awai with the batted pass and Hosier coming up there. Great teamwork, which reminds me, Hawaii Pacific Health takes a team approach to providing the expert care you need when and where you need it. Together, we are creating a healthier Hawaii. Pac-5 lining up for the uber important extra point in terms of the mercy rule, 35-point mercy rule. It is Kiahi Ewan back there with the kick, and it looks like it is short. So the score remains 34-0. No running clock so far for McKinley. They get to survive and they get to live longer and not have this well and get some more valuable reps, because once that running clock is in, the game is going to go super fast. So I think for McKinley, you're disappointed by the pick six, but you still have an opportunity to get quality reps. And in this non-league play, that's what you really should be thinking about, is to get quality reps. Don't worry about the score, but just get something positive that you can take into you when you go to the regular season.
And that's an excellent point by you, Michael, where when that running clock hits, we saw it last week for McKinley. how fast the second half starts to go. And there you get a little more of an opportunity to continue what has been overall a pretty good day and a good showing for your defense and your special teams. You just hope to start to show a little bit of life on offense, and there have been signs. You just need some more consistency from the O-line.
As we get a little bit of a drizzle here in Kalihi and some wind, it's really starting to pick up now as we see some umbrellas in front of us actually come out. But again, a beautiful facility, a beautiful venue with this rainbow now back in full swing in our backdrop.
I think every single time I've been able to call a game or cover a game here at Farrington High School, there's been that rainbow in the backdrop. It really is gorgeous. I cannot emphasize enough the beauty of this backdrop.
Kiahiyuan with the kickoff duties. Short kick this time, gets a little dribbler, but it is picked up by Branson Peters at the 29. He goes towards his left, actually goes backwards for a bit, but he's able to stay on his feet. So great job by Branson Peters just to kind of force Pac-5 to stay disciplined in their kickoff return lanes. And you know, one thing I'm going to miss when we get to the NFL is that I'm going to have to get used to that new kickoff rule.
Yeah, the new kickoff rule has been interesting as we have a little bit of a stoppage here, but yeah, you mentioned it. Peters started to run backwards, which was interesting, and I thought he was actually going to end up losing some yardage. He does a good job fighting through a couple of tackles to get back to where he was originally and pick up, it looked like, an extra yard or two for this McKinley offense as they get ready to begin their second drive of this second half from the 30-yard line.
Yeah, all it takes is just one missed assignment, and you're breaking down the left sideline for a big gain, if not a touchdown. It will be Sablon. Actually, it is. Actually, we have a new quarterback, I believe, for McKinney. I believe that is number 5, Iosu Osefo, who is also playing. Or maybe that's. Let's see who that is. That is number 6, but I don't have a number 6 on the roster. But that is a completed pass.
It's number, I believe, 81.
I believe that's Gabriel Hussey. So this quarterback now in the game for McKinley is making some plays as we try to track down who it is. It's the number 6. Or
I mean, no matter what, it's 1 for 1 in the scorebook, and that's impressive in itself after we've seen so much dominance from this Pac-5 defense today. Immediately comes in, completes a pass, and picks up a first down for McKinley here as the Tigers with a little bit of momentum.
Yeah, but McKinley drops back. It's a handoff, this time to Isaiah Rojas, who is tackled behind the line of scrimmage down to the 38-yard line. So a loss of 2 for Rojas after that gain of 10 on the pass, the previous pass. So it'll be 2nd and 12, 2nd and 11 actually, a loss of 1 at the McKinley 39-yard line.
And that's what you want to avoid here if you're the McKinley offense, is those negative plays. You don't need to have the home runs. You don't need to have a first down every single play. But if you can start to eliminate all of those negative yardage plays, if you can eliminate those, you really feel good about where this offense can start to go, just off the baseline of where everything else is for this unit.
It's a quarterback keeper. Takes it down to the 40-yard line, so it's about a gain of 1. So it'll be 3rd and 10 from the original line of scrimmage. Might actually be a gain of 2, as it's 3rd and 9 now for the McKinley Tigers here in the third quarter. McKinley trying everything. They're playing every player. They got a quarterback in now who we don't have on our roster, but again, it's a great job by McKinley, just trying to showing what they have out there, getting all the rosters, showing your full depth of your roster, making sure that you can go and, you know, and perform and see what you got before the regular season starts, and then now you know what you have out there. But McKinley waiting for the plays, but they're getting close to a delay of game as the back official raises his hand up, so there's less than 10 seconds on the clock. They're going to need to get this snap off because it's close to being a delay of game, but they do get it off. Quarterback draws the backs, goes over the middle, and it's nearly intercepted by 2 players. I believe that's Elijah Connell Chavez, who was a little bit, few inches short of that interception, and then number 5, who I believe is Nainoa French by Pac-5 almost came down with their interception. So looks like it will be a punting situation now for McKinley and Gregory Givens.
And that's how quickly things can change in football, right? Where all it takes is you have one great play to start off a drive, but instead of continuing it, just one negative play derails everything, and you never get out from behind that original 10 yards to gain.
Yeah, so it'll be Givens back to pass, little dribbling punt, or snap, excuse me, but he does get it off. The Pac-5 returnmen have to drop back. It looks like they're going to let it go. They have a chance to down this, and they will get a chance to down it inside the 5. And he's going to, it was really close. Are they going to give it down at the 1 or at the touchback? But it looks like it will be at the 1 yard line. So solid job. Again, McKinley special teams right now have outperformed Pac-5, and they did a solid job putting it down at the 1 yard line. So great punt that time by Gregory Givens, and great coverage by the McKinley special teams unit. So it'll be 1st and 10 Pac-5 on their own 1 yard line. This is the deepest that they've been in their own territory to start the game. And if you're Pac-5, you just want to get out of your own end zone, get out of the shadow of your own goalpost so that you can maybe find something going.
You talked about it before. It was a beautiful, beautiful punt and the coverage was just as good. A 58-yard booming kick that takes a nice Tigers roll all the way down just before the goal line, and now a real chance to perhaps put some points up on the board.
Pac-5 in a full house formation, and Seth Miller shrugs off 2 tackles by McKinley. That would have been a loss, and he's actually able to get it near the 5 yard line. Looks like he's going to be down at the 4 yard line. So gain of 3 for Seth Miller, and that looked like there was trouble, but Seth Miller showing why he is one of the top athletes in Division II there, shaking off 2 tacklers by McKinley to make it 2nd and 7 at the 4 yard line.
Miller just doesn't go down on first contact. That's the sign of a really good running back, right? Where no matter what happens, no matter where he gets hit first by a defender, he's able to shake off that contact and go a little bit further and fall forward. That's a big trait for running backs who are productive, and man, Pac-5 has one.
Strong set to the left side, but looks like Pac-5 was unsure where they were going to line up, so that they're forced to burn a timeout. And we'll take one as well. We'll step aside. You're listening to Hawaii High School Football on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
Animals are languishing in U.S. shelters, especially dogs who look a certain way. These dogs are just as deserving of loving homes as any type of dog, which is why we decided to help them get out of kennels. Join the thousands of supporters of our mission to help us expand our national reach and proudly place more dogs from kennels into their forever homes. To learn more about our mission, please visit us at kennel2couch.org.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by the HHSAA and the Hawaii Interscholastic Athletic Directors Association.
OIA Athletics on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760. Brought to you by Dial Electric Supply.
Welcome back to the campus of Franklin High School as Pac-5 called a timeout and are facing a 2nd and 7 on their own 4 yard line. But looks like there's some officiating issues. Looks like there's an equipment issue as the McKinley player might need to come out of the game. I think something is going on with his knee pads or one of his uniform or something like that. Not too sure, but he is replaced by Fabian Puja, who has kind of done a lot of everything now. He's played quarterback, now he's playing defensive back. But it is a handoff this time, Pac-5, with some yards after contact by, I believe, that is number 23, Sean Fujimoto. So Sean Fujimoto getting his first carry on a little sweep play, which went from the 4 yard line to the 10 yard line. So gain of 6 on that play, making it 3rd and 1 for Pac-5 after starting it on their 1 yard line.
A nice run there by Fujimoto, and once again, just running hard after first contact not going down and taking a couple of defenders with him before finally going to the ground and now setting up 3rd and 1 for the Wolfpack.
Full house formation. So it is a handoff to Seth Miller, who bounces left, but he might get tracked down. Oh, he just stays on his feet, and he's able to get the first down. Great job of balance by Seth Miller. And on 3rd and 1, when you need a first down, why not go to Seth Miller? But there is an injured Pac-5 player on the field and an injured McKinley player. So a lot of bodies going down on this play. Looks like for the Pac-5 player, it's just a cramp in his right leg. But for McKinley, their player that they got over there on the near sideline is kind of shaking up.
Working on his upper body, looks towards his left shoulder / arm area for the young McKinley player. And either way, you see the brutality of the sport of football on full display right there. But a great job by Seth Miller showing off the balance on the run as he took the contact from a couple of different defenders from McKinley, and in turn, with some quality balance, stays on his feet, continues to rumble forward, and picks up the first down for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, Seth Miller was a first-team All-Hawaii running back in Division II for Scoring Live. And, you know, Scoring Live is a partner of Hawaii Sports Radio Network, and they bring the best overall coverage of high school sports in the state. So visit scoringlive.com for live scores and stats, photos, league schedules, and more.
I know for every single broadcast that I have to get ready for, or even for high school games that I wasn't able to catch, I always go to Scoring Live to try and get caught up on whatever I did end up missing that weekend. And speaking of missing some things this weekend, there are going to be a few games that are postponed due to weather, I'm sure, because of what has been forming here in the Pacific, Michael.
Yeah, and the weather is mostly affecting Hawaii Island as well as Maui County. But for us on Oahu, it's probably going to hit more of us on Sunday morning and Sunday afternoon. But one thing that is not postponed is the University of Hawaii season opener against Delaware State. Delaware State did make it into town safely yesterday morning after a bunch of snafus, bunch of fiascos, but guess what, guys? We have football tomorrow.
Football is finally back at the college level, and it's really exciting because now our weekends get filled up, right, where we have Friday night lights with the high school football, Saturday with college, and Sunday with professional.
After that gain of 6 for Seth Miller, it is a swing-out pass, screen pass to Jerome Lilio. So instead of going deep, they're going to get him in space from the 16-yard line. Looks like he's going to cross the 20 and get near the 25-yard line. Looks like he's at the 16, the 24. So that's a gain of 8. So great first down play by Pac-5, really getting it into the hands of their playmaker.
And with Lilio, you're almost surprised that you don't see the ball tossed to him even more. They've given him a couple of jump ball opportunities, given him some 50-50 chances. But with his big 6'5" frame, you'd almost expect to throw it out to him a little bit more and let him work for those tough yards.
Nobody ready on that play, but Seth Miller is, as he runs into nearly a gain of 10 yards as he reaches the 35-yard line. But looks like there is some action going on. Looks like a player may have been hurt near on the Pac-5 sideline. I can't tell if that's a McKinley player or a Pac-5 player, but there is some player here on the near side that requires some medical attention.
Yeah, that's going to be number 52 for McKinley, Luke O'Young, who had a play earlier in this one that we pointed out, and we talked about it before, some cramping starting up for a Pac-5 offensive lineman. That looks like the case here for the linebacker for McKinley as he starts to get stretched out by the training staff of the Tigers. And nice job by Pac-5, the Wolfpack, showing some sportsmanship as well. As soon as he went down, I watched a couple of players come on over and offer up some water bottles, and obviously with cramping, it's a mixture of a whole bunch of things, but you want some hydration there as well. So you like to see that sportsmanship here at the high school level.
Yeah, and the player for McKinney that was injured earlier was Yusua Sefo, who took some snaps at quarterback last week, but he primarily plays as a middle linebacker. He was able to get off on his own power and trot over to the sideline. But the battle of attrition for McKinley now is starting to hit in. We mentioned last week that they played Kaiser and lost 56-7, but the entire second half was in running clock. So they're not used to playing a full 48 minutes of football, but now they're getting some action. So hopefully nobody is hurt too much, but they are getting used to, hey, there is a level of physicality, there is a level of conditioning that is required in football. But shout out athletic trainers Tomoki Kanaoka and Liana Gogrich from McKinley, showing why they're one of the best training staff here in the OIA. So yeah, it looks like he's able to get off in his own power. But that sports injury report was brought to you by Hawaii Pacific Health, creating a healthier Hawaii. We'll take 10 seconds, pause 10 seconds for staying on a vacation. You're listening to Hawaii High School Football on HSRN.
Home of the Los Angeles Clippers, KGU AM K236CR is the Hawaii Sports Radio Network on AM 760, 95.1 FM.
Welcome back to the campus of Frankton High School on the beautiful stadium of Edward Skippadilla Stadium at Henry Kusunoki Field. But after that gain of about, I want to say, 5 yards, it'll be 1st and 10 Pac-5 on their own 34-yard line with Colton Amai Nakagawa behind center for the Wolfpack.
1st and 10, the Wolfpack. Ball is on their 34-yard line.
Amai Nakagawa swings it out, this time to Ken Donate. He's already got 3 touchdowns already. Drags the McKinley defender to the 40-yard line. Great job by Ken Donate, showing the toughness for a gain of 6 on that little short catch and run.
And another McKinley defender going down quickly after that tackle. And you mentioned it before, Michael, the conditioning for McKinley perhaps not there comparatively to some other teams, especially just considering, like we've said all throughout the broadcast, a younger unit overall on top of a team that wasn't forced to play the traditional stop-and-go 48 minutes of a high school football game, instead seeing that running clock in the second half.
Yeah, but great. Fortunately, that time, Branson Peters from McKinley able to get up there on his own power really quickly. So that's positive to see as Pac-5 faces a 2nd and 4 at their own 40-yard line. Looks like they're going to come out in an empty set with Colton Amai Nakagawa. Now, empty sets haven't been too kind for the Wolfpack, but let's see what they do here. Amai Nakagawa drops back to pass, throws behind his receiver in Seth Miller, who's running a little out route with the wide out running that clear on the vert. But again, not much going in this empty set for Pac-5.
Yeah, just struggling when you're going a little more spread out, and right there, just not on the same page as Seth Miller, tossing the ball even before Miller was able to turn his head. Miller getting out in front of where the line to gain was. It would have been a nice gain as he got open, but like we said before, just not on the same page, timing not there between the two.
Empty set again for Amai Nakagawa, drops back to pass. There's some pressure, and looks like that pass was actually batted down at the line. I believe that's our new quarterback, number 6, Tarsin Soliaga, who was just a overnight addition to the game day roster.
Yeah, we were just told that roster addition was made last night, so pardon us for not having that on our updated rosters, but we do now, and making an impact early and often. He had a completion in his first throw of the game, and now gets a pass defended to force a punt now. And Michael, is this the first punt of the game for Pac-5?
No, they had a punt on their first drive.
First drive,
yeah,
that's what it was.
They went 3 and out. But this punt by Hopman gets it off. McKinley able to set up a return if someone's able to get a hand on it, but looks like they're just going to avoid it as Pac-5. Whoa, 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 whoa. Looks like they were trying to drag McKinley player to touch the ball, but in this situation, this is when you're yelling out poison, and you just got to get away from the ball.
So and that's what my thought was why are you even standing near watching the ball bounce near you? You got to get away, and part of that, just a teaching point for a young McKinley team who has a lot of players in some new situations this year.
But this same confusion, I think, affected them last week against Kaiser when they didn't touch the kickoff ball. They thought it was like a punt where they didn't touch it, but it is a live ball as opposed to this one. As long as you don't touch it, you're good. You just get away from it. So just gotta kind of have to get used to and learn the rules and what is which. And special teams, I mean, seems like every year there's a special team rule change, right? Whether it be in the NFL or college. Like now, did you know that I think you can fair catch the kickoff on college where it takes you to the 25 or the 30? There's a whole lot. Either way, it's 1st and 10 McKinley on their own 29-yard line. Handoff to Mareko Sefo. Gets some running room, and he's looking. Oh, I thought he was going to say he was going to drag a Pac-5 defender, but that is Joshua Jerome actually pulling him back. So, but looks like he's going to get some forward progress for a gain of 3. So, great job by Mareko getting the forward progress to make it 2nd and 7.
Yeah, Mareko Sefo doing a good job hitting the hole initially, but right there you see the youth of the running back, right? A freshman in high school going up against the big, strong defensive lineman for Pac-5. That time, Joshua doing a nice job getting into the backfield. Or not backfield, I suppose, but pulling him back to the backfield with the tackle.
So it would be Tarsin Soliaga behind quarterback. So I believe he's actually the 4th player to take snaps behind center, but he gets a little drop pass, gets it to Gregory Givens. During the offensive line not able to set up the screen properly as they were not getting any burst there, but Givens able to take something, turn something out of nothing into something as he gets it to the McKinley 37-yard line. So about a gain of about 5 right there to make it 3rd and 2 on the 37-yard line.
And a really good job by Gregory Givens not to give up. He didn't get a ton of help from blockers, but instead of going down with that first contact, drags a couple of Pac-5 defenders with him as he sets up. It's been the buzz phrase all night for the McKinley offense. 3rd and manageable for the Tigers.
3rd and manageable indeed for Soliaga. Calls for the snap, draws back the glass, actually gets some time. But that screen play for Tana Hiramasa actually blown up. There was actually 2 Pac-5 defenders out there in Nainoa French and Elijah Cano Chavez. So it'll be 4th and 2 and decision time now for McKinley. But you know, in the first punt attempt of the game, we actually had Gregory Givens roll to his right and get the first down. Lately, he's just kind of been standing back there and opting for a more traditional punt. But why not go for that little scrum rugby punt here on 4th and 2?
I'm in agreement with you, Michael, where you've tried it a couple of times, and Givens himself has shown off the ability to show a little wiggle against these defenders. And if he can get a running start already, all you need is about 2 yards here. And, well, obviously, a little bit more if you're starting out in a punt.
It's a pass by Givens. Goes to Isaiah Rojas, who makes the grab. Wow, what a play by Gregory Givens with that pass to Isaiah Rojas, who's got a pair of interceptions, if I'm not mistaken, in this game, showing his sauce, but got a little cramp right there.
Yeah, Rojas making his impact felt all over the place in the stats. As you mentioned, 2 interceptions in that first half, and they're coming up with a 4th down conversion. How many times are we going to see the McKinley Tigers go for it or fake a punt? You have to always be on your toes if you are going against McKinley clearly on 4th downs.
And I think it was the leg of Gregory Givens that actually set up that special teams play, because before he got the snap, the 2 return men for Pac-5 and Colt Hopman and Seth Miller were backing up because they realized this guy has a leg, and that opened opportunity for Isaiah Rojas to get into the medium area for that 9-yard gain and get a first down.
And once again, an opportunity for McKinley to continue a drive, that momentum back on their side a little bit, want to continue it.
Tarsin Solioga lets it fly, but there's some contact. Surprised there's not a flag, as Seth Miller kind of had his arms draped around Gregory Givens, but unable to hook up on that play.
Yeah, some contact from Miller on Givens, but Givens just not quite able to get as far as the ball ended up going, just out of his range all around. And then Colt Hopman doing a nice job being on the back end. Wouldn't have been a touchdown, but would have been a nice gain for McKinley. Now back to the drawing board with 2nd and 10.
A lot of these plays for McKinley have gone towards the direction of Seth Miller, and I think it's kind of smart on their part, because why not tire out the best player on offense for the other team when he plays defense? But here's Soliaga with a deep pass. Oh, but it is picked off by Jerome Lilio. He's got some space. Oh, but he's wrestled down. So second interception of the day for Jerome Lilio. What a play for the 6'5 stud out of Marino. He is a basketball player, but he might just be a Division I football player.
He's showing off here today. We've seen him on offense bring down some contested catches. Now on defense, we've seen him bring in a couple of catches as well. A pair of interceptions for the lanky defender and former defender of the year. And once again, Pac-5 into McKinley territory, looking to add on to this already promising and dominating 34-point lead.
Yep, so it'll be 1st and 10, Pac-5 at the McKinley 41-yard line. It will be Braden Sarahina now at the controls for Pac-5 with 3 receivers to his left. It's Miller again with the handoff. Cuts to his left, cuts to his right, shakes the defender, has some room at the 15, at the 10, stiff summer defender. He is getting dragged out, and he's got the touchdown. What a play by Seth Miller. Well, forget what I was saying about getting him tired on defense, because he just showed he has all the juice on offense. Seth Miller with the touchdown from, I believe, 41 yards out. What a play by the senior running back out of University Lab.
Showing a lot of wiggle out in the open field. Originally goes to his left, cuts back right, and showing off the speed, getting by McKinley defenders left and right, and then just one man to beat. It was Eliza Taufa, and with one stiff arm and some powerful running for the final 5 yards, Miller picks up his second touchdown of the day, as now we've entered running clock territory.
Yeah, it looks like they will still go for 2. They realize they can't get the PAT off, so it'll be Sarahina back there with Miller behind him. But it looks like it's a handoff to number 23, which is Sean Fujimoto. So Sean Fujimoto on his second touch of the game, getting 2 points for Pac-5 to make it 42-0. With just under a minute to play in the third quarter, excuse me.
And that is just a backbreaker if you are McKinley, right? Where you've felt some momentum back on your side. You finally started to get it, and then an interception, a big run by Seth Miller, and the 2-point conversion for just a cherry on top. It's 42-0 now in favor of Pac-5, and if you're McKinley, you hope to just start to put together more pieces offensively. You've seen the defense able to compete, just tired from being out there essentially the entire game.
Yeah, and that scoring drive was pretty much on the hands of Pac-5's top 2 players in Jerome Lilio, who was a first-team All-Hawaii Division II selection last year, and the running back, Seth Miller, who was a first-team running back selection last year as well. So Pac-5 studs showing out right now, as the score is 42-0 with running clock here in the game. Kiayuan's kick is up, and it looks like it's gonna go out of bounds. So McKinley can start their drive at the 35-yard line, but it looks like the next time we might see him might be in the fourth quarter. But there is an injured an injured McKinley player. I believe that's Tarsin Soliaga, who is hurt right there.
Quickly back up on his feet, thankfully, as he makes his way off the field. Hopefully just a quick stinger for the young man who just joined the Tigers roster, like we mentioned, essentially last night.
But score is 42-0. McKinley will start their possession at their own 35-yard line, as clock starts to run here with 35-point or more deficit. And I don't think McKinley's going to get the snap off, as the clock is now at 5 seconds and clicking.
Well, not to mention Soliaga was the quarterback that had been in the game for McKinley. So as he went off to the sideline, they didn't have a quarterback come out to the field. So the rest of the third quarter trickles on out, and we're through 3 periods here at Farrington, Michael.
But yeah, we'll take a break as well. You're listening to Hawaii Sports Radio Network. You're listening to Hawaii High School Football on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
Gather around, ladies, and join us Sunday, January 26th at Kapiolani Park for the Hawaii Pacific Health Women's 10K and 5K Fun Run. Embrace a healthier lifestyle and enjoy a fun-filled day. Women of all ages and fitness levels are welcome to participate by running, walking, or jogging the course. And if you can't be there in person, virtual race options are available. Register today at hphwomen's10k.org.
Thousands of kids in poverty have waited over a year for a sponsor. End their wait today. Become a Compassion sponsor. Text radio to 83393. Text radio to 83393.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game. So I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in Hawaii at highschoolofficials.com.
180 over 111, and I had a stroke. I couldn't speak or walk.
This is high blood pressure. Get back on your plan. Go to loweryourhbp.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association, American Medical Association, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to OIA Athletics on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760. Brought to you by Hawaii Pacific Health.
Welcome back. It's the fourth quarter already. We are rolling and rocking here in the first game of our doubleheader here at Farrington High School. Before we rejoin, that was an incomplete pass there by Soliaga. But one thing I like about Soliaga is he's really trying to move the ball down the field.
He's going beyond the sticks, and you have to challenge the defense sometimes, and we've seen that Pac-5 hasn't been ready for it.
What a grab by Gregory Givens as he gets all the way across into Pac-5 territory. It looks like he got to the 35, but it looks like there is a penalty on the run after catch. So that penalty marker is after the first down marker. So he's probably going to get the first down, but it's going to come back maybe 10 or 15 yards depending on what the penalty is. But right now the ball is spotted at the Pac-5 36-yard line.
Yeah, discussion between the officials right now, but like you said before, a really nice grab by Gregory Givens, and it looks like they're going to actually pick up the flag, no?
Yeah, it looks like he kind of waited, so it will be a 29-yard catch and run by Gregory Givens. That was a heck of a play by Tarsin Soliaga because that was a slant pattern in time with a receiver draped around, a defensive back draped around Givens, and Givens able to find some running room and get some space and get to the sideline for a 29-yard gain. So it's 1st and 10 McKinley at Pac-5's 34-yard line.
Yeah, and I want to shout out the offensive line for McKinley, giving him enough time to get it away.
Soliaga with a pass intended for Tana Hiromasa. And I tell you what, if Tana Hiromasa was a few inches taller, that's a completion, but a little bit unable to haul that in. But that pass was a catchable ball, and I'm liking what I see out of Tarsin Soliaga. He might be the missing piece that McKinley needs to finally get some points on his board so they can compete in Division II in the OIA.
It just feels like there's a little bit of momentum with the offense with him out there, and it's exactly what you talked about before, right? He's not afraid to throw in front of the line of scrimmage, right? And I'm not talking about step in front of the line of scrimmage and throw, but toss the ball 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, even 10 yards down the field and keep the defense honest.
Soliaga rolls left, moves the pocket, and nearly intercepted, but credit Fabian Pudja for kind of playing defensive back against Jerome Lilio, because Jerome Lilio at 6'5" and a basketball player, he definitely had the hop. So smart play by Pudja, who started the game at quarterback and it has shown his versatility for the McKinley Tigers.
Yeah, a really nice piece for the Tigers to have, whether he fits in offensively, defensively, or both sides, and likely for McKinley, they'll need him to fit in on both sides. Right there doing a good job knocking that ball away and keeping this drive going, keeping this possession going and making it 3rd and 10. And you're in position now where you're probably not punting the ball away. You're perhaps in 4-down territory with 8:40 and winding down 42-0.
Yeah, with the clock rolling, you just got to compete. But Soliaga has really provided that spark for McKinley. Let's see what he can do here on 3rd and 10. Waits for the snap. Pac-5 brings some pressure, under pressure. He goes deep. That ball is intended for Gregory Givens, but kind of was held up in the wind where it kind of fell short. So, but looks like they're going to stay on the field.
Yeah, it goes exactly to what I was just saying, where you're mostly in 4-down territory when you get into Pac-5 territory. You have 4th and 10 here. You're already down by 6 scores. You got to get something going, and you've seen a couple of plays that are close to success. Even that one there getting held up in the wind. Givens, if turning around just a half a second sooner, probably can make a play on that ball, perhaps bring it on down. We've seen him when it's in his vicinity. He's a pretty aggressive player about going and getting it.
Yeah, like we mentioned, this is the first game of our doubleheader. We got Farrington versus Rancho Mirage out of California coming up as Farrington makes their way onto the field. But here's Soliaga, drops back to pass, throws it over the middle deep, and it is a completion. Great job by Fabian Pudja going over the middle of the field and catching that ball and hauling it in as it's 1st and down. McKinley now at the 21-yard line. So I think that's about a gain of 20 there on that play.
It was a gain of more than what they needed, which was 10 yards. And on 4th and 10, what a great job by Tarson Soliaga, standing back there, standing up strong, and delivering a nice throw over the middle to Fabian Pudja, who brings it on down and picks up the 1st down at the 21-yard line of Pac-5.
Yeah, great job by McKinley to get some momentum. McKinley out of the OIA. So they look like they have some signs to compete, maybe get their first win of the year later this year. But it is a screen pass to Gregory Givens, who gets some room, gets to the outside, gets to the corner, pylon diving, touchdown McKinley. What a job by Gregory Givens and Tarson Soliaga, making his debut after getting added to the roster last night. He hasn't been on the roster for 24 hours, but here making a spark, getting it to the playmaker, Gregory Givens, who stretches for the pylon and gets the touchdown from 21 yards out. McKinley on the scoreboard. Givens again with another touchdown in back-to-back weeks.
Really, really nice job by the McKinley offense there, staying poised, going down the field, making big plays on big downs, and right there picking up their first points of the evening. And that's got to feel good if you're the Tigers, where you've played really well at parts in this game, just haven't been able to figure it out on offense. Finally gets it done right there as Gregory Givens shows off that wiggle once again in the open field.
We mentioned Givens also kicks PAT, so if he makes this, he'll be responsible for all. Oh, but it is blocked. Still, Givens responsible for all the scoring for McKinley so far. He's been a standout as well for the Tigers. You know, we saw it in the first drive of the game when he had that fake punt around the right end to get a first down. Here he shows his athleticism with that little catch after run, run after catch, and stretch for the pylon, making the score 42-6. We are still running clock, so we'll take a break here while the clock is stopped. You're listening to Hawaii High School Football on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
Gather around, ladies, and join us Sunday, January 26th at Kapiolani Park for the Hawaii Pacific Health Women's 10K and 5K Fun Run. Embrace a healthier lifestyle and enjoy a fun-filled day. Women of all ages and fitness levels are welcome to participate by running, walking, or jogging the course. And if you can't be there in person, virtual race options are available. Register today at hphwomen's10k.org.
He deals 2-2. Swung on, crushed, left field. This one is hammered on the way. Gone! Just short of the upper deck. Julio, a missile. He launched it. The building erupts. Julio!
The Seattle Mariners are on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network. Listen live throughout the season on 95.1 FM and AM 760. Visit hawaiisportsradio.com for the current broadcast schedule.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have some scoring here with McKinley finally being able to get on the scoreboard, making the score 42-6. And looks like they're kind of huddled up. Is McKinley going to go for an onside kick? I love it from the Tigers. being competitive even though the scoreboard does not favor them.
Oh, aggressively kicks it before they're lined up, and did they just recover it after it went 10 yards? It looks like no, as the official motions for a Pac-5 recovery, but a little trickery out of McKinley there. Like you said, tried the onside kick and almost came up with it. Bounced off the Pac-5 returner before the Wolfpack returner was able to fall on top of it. They'll be set up just inside McKinley territory at the 49.
Yeah, just 1 yard shy of that necessary 10-yard marker. In fact, I think the McKinley player was trying to get to it as well, but it was still kind of short, so he actually prevented the Pac-5 player from touching it. So, but I love the aggressiveness by McKinley with the running clock now on. Now, for both teams with the clock nearing 5 minutes, you just want to get out of this game healthy, so we'll see what Pac-5 does.
Yeah, you want to get out healthy, but you also want to continue forming those quality habits, and McKinley's defense has done that all evening.
Elijah Cornell Chavez with the handoff, being able to drag a defender after getting stopped in the loss for a momentary loss, but it is a gain of 1 yard line for Cornell Chavez, so great job by him, just keeping his feet churning to get just a little positive yards there.
And that's what we talked about with McKinley's offense, right? And what you're trying to get towards, where you eliminate negative plays. It might not be a positive play, but you don't want the negative play. Get back to the line to start at and go again from there.
Amaya Nakagawa rolls to his left. Looks like he's going to pass. It is complete to Kalen Donate. Looks like that's going to be a gain of about 9. Donate, he was the star of the first half. Didn't get to call his name much in the second half, but here, still showing why he is an impact player for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, just enough for the first down right there by Donate, and a nice throw on the run by Amaya Nakagawa, who, like you mentioned before, split time 2 weeks ago as well with Sarahina here, showing off a little bit extra on the move, the Southpaw QB.
So it'll be 1st and 10, Pac-5 at the McKinley 39. Amaya Nakagawa waits for the snap, but there is some movement. Looks like it might be a false start on the receiver on the far sideline. But looks like Pac-5 is emptying its bench, so that receiver probably didn't get much playing time. I believe that's the sophomore, Nainoa Kalaua, who was just excited to get in there, but it is a false start, so it'll be 1st and 15 now for Pac-5.
Clock still running, under 4 minutes here to play at Farrington. And Michael, like you've mentioned a couple of times, this is just one of two for you and I tonight here at Farrington and at Edward Skippa Diaz Stadium, as McKinley Pac-5 is just the appetizer to the main course later tonight.
Amaya Nakagawa swings it out to Ken Donate, but he is tracked down by Branson Peters. Great job by Peters. You know, he was actually down with an injury earlier in this second half, but still showing that he got some shiftiness to him, as that is tracked down for a loss of 4 yards. So looks like it's going to be 3rd down coming up now for Pac-5, and I think McKinley wants the ball back. It's going to be tough with the running clock, but they might have an opportunity to put another touchdown on the board if they can get a stop right here.
You really to see the fight of the Tigers here in this second half. Even after things didn't go their way, they throw a pick six on the very first possession, I think very first play of this second half, and since then it's almost been all McKinley.
But yeah, it's 2nd down and long, but looks like the McKinley defensive end on the right side of the line was a little bit excited and got called for the encroachment. We mentioned Branson Peters coming back from an injury. I also am positive to see Iosua Sefo back out there, as well as number 52, Luke O'Young. So a lot of the players that got hurt from McKinley are back in the game, and that's a positive sign to see because, you know, roster and depth is limited in Division II, so great on them for coming back on the field. Amaya Nakagawa drives back to basket, under pressure, rolls to his left. He is almost sacked, but he keeps going, stays alive, throws it deep, and it's incomplete. Heck of a job by Amaya Nakagawa getting loose. You know, he's not known for being an off-schedule kind of guy, but able to shake free of a defender and at least get the ball off. so to avoid the sack.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to point out was he avoids the sack. You don't need to do too much with your legs. Not everybody needs to be the Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson type, right? But you do need to be mobile enough to play the game of football at the quarterback position. And that's what Amai Nakagawa shows off right there. Gets away from not one but two different McKinley defenders and then gets the ball away to live to see another day here.
Yeah, but it was an incomplete pass, but the clock is stopped. But that is because there was an illegal man downfield against Pac-5. So looks like McKinley will take the penalty. So there was an encroachment and then an illegal man downfield. So looks like we're back to about 2nd and 19 on the McKinley 48-yard line for Amai Nakagawa and the Pac-5 Wolfpack. But the clock is running now. Under 2 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Pac-5 up 42-6. Amai Nakagawa takes the snap, looks to his left, scrambles, gets rid of it, and it might be intercepted, but it is caught by Seth Miller. What a job by Seth Miller, showing that he is not only running back, he is a receiver, adjusting to that ball that kind of lofted in the air for about a gain of about 9. So taking it back to the original line of scrimmage, we have 3rd and 10, and it looks like Pac-5 might be able to hold on to the ball and not give the ball back to McKinley.
And really, what a play by Seth Miller to track that down, because you're right, that was one of the balls where a quarterback throws, you say in your head, no, 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 oh yes, because you pick up 9 yards, and man, did it float in the air for a long time.
But 3rd and 10, Amai Nakagawa gets some right. Oh, he takes off. He goes up the middle. He goes to his right now. Breaks a few tacklers before getting tracked down by Kimo Kaio. First time we call his name for McKinley. But Amai Nakagawa takes it up to the right side for about a gain of 3 with 45 seconds and counting on the clock. I think they're going to have to punt the ball, and McKinley will maybe get a chance to return, but we are closing up here in the first game of our doubleheader here on Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
Good job by McKinley's defense not to give up another first down there, and even if you don't get the ball back here, you're able to at the very least say we ended the game with a stop.
And they also ended the game with a score, and that's positive to see. Here's Amai Nakagawa, throws it deep, intended for Seth Miller, but that's incomplete. It is a turnover on downs, but that will do it for us here in game 1 of our doubleheader here at Frankton High School. Pac-5 is going to defeat McKinley 42-6 to improve to 2-0 in the 2024 season, while the Tigers drop to 0-2. We'll take a break here. We'll take a step aside. You're listening to Hawaii High School Football on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
Gather around, ladies, and join us Sunday, January 26th at Kapiolani Park for the Hawaii Pacific Health Women's 10K and 5K Fun Run. Embrace a healthier lifestyle and enjoy a fun-filled day. Women of all ages and fitness levels are welcome to participate by running, walking, or jogging the course. And if you can't be there in person, virtual race options are available. Register today at hphwomen's10k.org.
When your car is making a strange noise, no matter what it is, you can't just pretend it's not happening.
That's an interesting sound.
It's like your mental health. If you're struggling and feeling overwhelmed, it's important to do something about it. It can be as simple as talking to someone in your community, or just taking a deep, calming breath when you need it. Nice. For mental health resources, check out loveyourmindtoday.org. At loveyourmindtoday.org, you'll find information that may help you get through a tough time. Things like tips for dealing with stress, how to navigate difficulties like financial worries, anger, substance use, and more. You can also find real stories of how people navigated their own mental health challenges. Because once you start to address the problem, you can go so much further. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
OIA Athletics on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
Game 1 of our doubleheader here at Frankton officially in the books, with Pac-5 winning 42-6 over McKinley. Pac-5 going 2-0 in the season, and they really showed why they're a contender for the Division II state title. Paul, what did you like from tonight's game?
I liked a lot of things for both sides. I know it was a lopsided score, a lopsided final, 42-6, your final, as McKinley falls for the second time this season. Pac-5 picking up their second victory, but for Pac-5, I like the continuation of what has been a really strong start to the season during non-conference play. Goes up against the Wailua squad and really shows off and flexes their muscles in the first half and continues into the second half to show that defense that we saw on display all throughout today. Really, the defensive line for the Wolfpack is what you like the most, is they just continued to get pressure and pressure and pressure against McKinley all throughout the evening. And then, of course, you liked a few of the players. Jerome Lilio, who really made impacts defensively, offensively, special teams, blocking, whatever you needed him to do. He was out there doing it for Pac-5, and so was Kalen Donate, along with Seth Miller. I mean, the options for Pac-5 are almost limitless, it feels like at times, and it's why you said they are a true contender in Division II. And then even for McKinley, you don't hang your head at today's performance, because there are so many things to take away as growth from even just a week ago with a young squad. And you started to see them figure out some answers, not just defensively, not just on special teams, but offensively as well. We saw them finally score an offensive touchdown in their second game of the season. Tarson Soliaga doing a phenomenal job at the QB spot to start pushing the ball down the field just a little bit more, and that opens things up for the run game. And we saw some stars be born, or potential stars be born for McKinley, in Gregory Givens, who just continued to really be an impact player, along with Isaiah Rojas, who had a couple of interceptions himself to go along with his offensive contributions. So both sides, some positives to take away, obviously a few more for Pac-5 as they pick up their second win of the season.
Yeah, I want to kind of go back to Pac-5's defensive line, because they really deserve the credit. They were the stars of the game that normally don't get attention. In number 55, Gisaya Falafina Awai, number 56, Ethan Kamahele Tolbert, and number 57, Joshua Jerome. Now, one last thing, order of business, Paul. Who is the player of the game?
So that's a tough one, partially because I just talked about it, right? There are so many great options on that Pac-5 roster, but I think it probably has to go to Kalen Donate, who had himself a 3-touchdown day in that first half alone, and then continued to make some plays to keep the game moving in the second half. A lot of consideration, though, for Jerome Lilio, who, like we said before, 2 interceptions and a couple of circus catches as well. So tough to not give it to him, but I think it does have to go to Kalen Donate for 3 touchdowns in the win for Pac-5.
Well, there you have it. 3 touchdowns for number 3. Kalen Donate is the player of the game for game 1 of our broadcast. Looks like, and we'll have a big one tonight between Farrington Governors, the 5th ranked Farrington Governors, versus the Rancho Mirage Rattlers out of California. We're going to take a kind of extended break, but you're listening to Hawaii High School Football on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
You've been listening to the Hawaii Sports Radio Network special presentation of OIA Athletics and the featured Game of the Week on 95.1 FM and AM 760. Brought to you by Hawaii Pacific Health.
Creating a healthier Hawaii.
DSE Hawaii.
Providing customer value.
And Dial Electric Supply.
Hawaii's premier lighting distributor and supplier.
Tonight's game was made possible also in part thanks to the following: play-by-play announcers Paul Brecht and Michael Lascaro, and operations director and in-studio technical engineer Ku'ule Agbayani. Visit hawaiisportsradio.com for a complete programming guide of upcoming games and more. We now return you to regular scheduled programming right here on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
Gun right now and said Raiders win total of 6.5, over or under. Broncos win total of 5.5, over or under. Which way are you going to go?
I have to pick both of them, or just my favorite one?
Both. Which way would you go on each team?
Boy, I'd go under on Raiders, although I know there's a 7.5 somewhere out there. That's not that. Like, being in Vegas, I think you get a lot of enthusiasm, but I'll go under Raiders, and I'll actually go over Denver, and I wouldn't have said that a week or two ago. I just think Knicks has looked okay. It's such a low total. You still have enough respect for Payton that he must have seen something in Knicks to draft him. And again, getting to 6 wins is not that many. So I'll go under Raiders, over Broncos. Neither one I bet, though.
You know what? I think I'm with you there. I've started to change my